would 100% support the right to do it.
You would?
Of course. You wouldn't
Get out of here.
You wouldn't contact.
Gosh, that is a giant paperclip. Look at this thing.
Letters to your congressman or woman.
We don't have one. We have a delegate, which is another story.
Well, you'd be like, Mr. Delegate, there's a picture of me wearing a red hat, which isn't my color.
No, because then I'm a traitor against going about what I stand on, and that's freedom of speech.
All right, well, I'm going to get that happening. Any artists out there? I got some cash
See you
for you.
tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye.
Has your loved one been abused in a nursing home? Bed sores, broken bones, dehydration, and malnutrition are all signs of abuse. Call Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
That gun took me off my feet there.
Police say they found the children shackled to these beds.
It's easy to see how enticing this cornfield would be to a child.
Boom, boom, boom.
You can see right into the room next door.
There's always more to the story. Inside Edition.
Weeknights at 7:30 on
Testing.
WAMVETS.
1 2 1 2. Hello, hello. 1 2 3.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthDocs.com to view a video of Dr. Jacqueline H. Riley on using nitrous oxide during labor. Baptist Health Floyd. Be a healthier you.
Just because we're super hungry
doesn't mean you gotta spend a lot, because Denny's brought back the Super Slam with eggs, hash browns, bacon, sausage, and buttermilk or pumpkin pancakes, all for just $5.99. $5.99 Super Slam is back. See you at Denny's.
You a cop?
Nope.
I'm gonna have to check for a wire.
Well, it's a good thing I wore my second best prop.
Why don't you let the cops handle it?
Let someone else have all the fun?
Stumptown coming to ABC. Tonight, the president again shifting his position on guns.
A lot of the people that put me where I am are strong believers in the Second Amendment.
So what does that mean for background checks and keeping Americans safe? World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Right now, tonight at 4 o'clock, Air Force One arriving earlier in Louisville, just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. The president is still in Louisville right now, stepping off Air Force One with Governor Matt Bevin, speaking to American veterans at the Galt House, and now raising money at a private fundraiser for the governor. But his Louisville visit hasn't been without protests. Some protesters gathering around the area along downtown streets and outside of the hotels. We'll let you know what you need to know about traffic coming right up.
Hot and humid day across Kentuckiana, and we're going to see some positive changes, a little bit cooler and some rain chances on the way. Your Storm Team forecast is coming up.
And welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us here again this afternoon. I'm Doug Proffitt as we continue WHAS 11's all-afternoon coverage of President Donald Trump's visit to Louisville. We're going to keep you up to date on his departure, expected at about 5:30 tonight. But first, it's been a full schedule for the president. He's at the Sealback Hotel downtown right now, helping Governor Matt Bevin raise money for his re-election campaign. It's a private event. We have team coverage for you tonight. Lisa Hudson will have the overview from downtown Louisville. We're also live outside the Sealback, the site of that private fundraiser. You're going to get the very latest traffic updates, and we're going to recap the president's speech, which ended just a little while ago, to the big veterans crowd at the Galt House. Later, protesters are always there to greet the president. Louisville has been no exception. We want to begin now with Lisa, who is on the rooftop of WHAS, keeping an eye on the president's departure route a little later from the Sealback, which should lead to Chestnut Street over to I-65 later this evening. Lisa?
That's right, Doug. Of course, we've been trying to keep an eye out to see if we see anything. Of course, we've been telling you all week that traffic downtown was going to be a little bit difficult today. And I think a lot of people heeded those warnings because surprisingly, it's been very quiet up here. We haven't really seen a lot of traffic. Of course, several police officers and first responders that are out making sure that the streets are safe. Now, the president's first stop was at the Galt House, giving a speech to veterans at the AMVETS Conference. And we're going to sum up his speech in just a few minutes with our political director, Chris Williams. But first, here's a little bit of what he had to say just a few minutes ago.
I cannot come to Kentucky without also praising the exceptional work of Senator Mitch McConnell. I have to tell you, this guy is a true fighter for our veterans and for Kentucky. He's worked tirelessly to enact massive tax cuts, record defense spending, and crucial VA reform that I was just talking about. And
Now, of course, the president also said he would be back in Kentucky. He's going to be campaigning for Governor Matt Bevin as well as Senator Mitch McConnell. Now, he also signed a memorandum on that stage. That's what he's doing right there. The video you're seeing, giving student loan relief to 25,000 disabled veterans. From the Galt House, his motorcade is headed over to the Seelbach Hotel for Governor Matt Bevin's fundraiser tonight. It's a private event, and it's going to cost you about $2,000 to even get in the door. And if you want a photo with President Trump, you're looking at about $21,000. Our Dennis Ting is outside the Seelbach Hotel right now. Dennis, what are you seeing?
Well, it might cost you a good amount of money to get into the Seelbach for that private fundraiser, but we're out here, it's free. And there's a good crowd out here who are hoping to catch a glimpse of the president. Now, the crowd has sort of dispersed over the past 20 minutes, but you see it's still barricaded here. It's still a good number of people here across the street from the Seelbach hoping to see the president. And we're actually here with Gabriel. Gabriel, you're 9 years old. You're here in Louisville, and you said you've never been this close to the president before. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
And earlier we were talking, you said you felt a sense of honor being this close to the president. Why do you feel that sense of honor?
Because he's our president, and I respect him.
And it's got to be a pretty cool feeling for you. You said this is something you've never seen. You're here with your family, and what's going through your mind right now?
Happiness.
You're not going to forget this trip to Louisville, are you?
No.
All right, Gabriel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And again, we've got a lot of people here who are hoping to see the president. We think he is still in the Seelbach, but we've also got other reporters. We've got Kristen Goodwillie somewhere on another entrance where we believe the president will be coming out of. Kristen, what is it looking like out there?
Dennis, just in the last 30 minutes, the police presence has significantly increased. Take a look. Chestnut between 4th and 5th is completely closed. And if you come over here closer to 4th, people are being stopped. They cannot come anywhere past these police officers right here. And all of these people are just waiting. They can go through this way. But not only do we have police officers, we have police on horses. This is the back entrance to the Seelbach, this alley right here. There are a lot of people. They have luggage over here. And there's the tent where we believe the president could have gone into, but it's completely blocked off. So there's really no way of knowing. But again, Chestnut right now was completely blocked off about 30 minutes ago, and I'm told that it will continue to be blocked off until the president is out of the Seelbach. Lisa, what does your vantage point look like? Yeah, I mean, from up here, you can see that I actually see to my left over here a few officers on mounted patrol. So you can see there's a variety of different type of security measures that are happening downtown. A lot of people heeding those warnings, stay away from downtown if you're not headed to the Galt House or the Seelbach for President Trump's events, just because of the traffic that we're seeing. We've been warning you that about that all week long, and so many road closures downtown right now. We want to get to a few of them. They include 3rd Street, 4th Street, Muhammad Ali Boulevard, Main Street, and Armory. Those are highlighted right there on your screen. There's also lots of places you cannot park, and that's on the street. Even some parking garages are closed. So the president is scheduled to be leaving Louisville just before 6 o'clock tonight, and the city will again close down part of Interstate 65 so that motorcade will be able to get safely to Muhammad Ali International Airport. Again, that's in the middle of drive time, so you can imagine what kind of delays that might cause. Of course, the big question of the day, how is the traffic going to be once President Trump actually leaves Louisville, and actually what's it looking like right now? We want to check in with Heather Fontaine. She's in the WHAS 11 Weather Beast. Heather, you've got a great vantage point. You can kind of see pretty much how the traffic is going. Where are you, and what are you seeing out there? Well, right now we're downtown in downtown Louisville. Kristen was showing you all of those roadblocks. I'm going to switch it over to our roof cam so you can see them for yourselves. We've been kind of circling this grid between 3rd Street and 7th Street and Muhammad Ali Boulevard and Broadway. That's really the only roadblocks that you are going to see. We've been circling farther out downtown, and it's not bad at all. You're at typical stoplights, but other than that, we're not waiting in much traffic. I know as we were leaving the airport or the Kentucky Air National Guard after Trump had already left, there was a little bit of backup on I-65, especially going off 264, but it wasn't really that abnormal. So right now, traffic is good. If your boss is going to let you leave early, I would ask them to do it now. Of course, we expect President Trump to be returning to the airport around 5:30 today. That's where we expect it to get the worst. I think that if you're able to avoid these select blocks, again, from stay on 3rd Street or stay on 7th Street and don't go, stay on Broadway and stay on Liberty. Don't go to that grid in between and you're going to be just fine. Lisa, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Heather. Again, a lot of folks really heeding that advice. Many businesses were allowing their employees to work from home today for that specific reason, to avoid that kind of traffic. Now, President Trump has passed his fair share of protesters in Louisville today. Several of them have been downtown since early this afternoon. We're going to have a live report on that coming up at 4:30. Now, the president announced during his speech to the American Veterans Convention that he planned to sign an executive order to help veterans with student loans. And we're going to get more details on his speech and the reception from the veterans from WHAS 11 Political Director Chris Williams. He joins me now live from the Galt House. That, of course, was the site of the AMVETS conference. A lot of applause during that speech. Chris, what was the reaction?
Well, when the president walked out on stage here, he was given a very warm welcome from the AMVETS at their 75th annual conference. You can see right now they're starting to break down this area, the calm after the storm, as the president has moved on towards the Seal Block. The AMVETS is an organization that helps veterans and their families. They fight for issues that are important to veterans and their families. So it was no surprise that the president talked about fighting for veterans to prevent suicides, improving VA care, and building up the U.S. military might. But the big headline that will come out of this will be the signing of an executive action forgiving student loan debt for an approximately 25,000 veterans who are permanently disabled. There will be no federal tax on the forgiven debt, according to the president, and he says he's going to be calling on some states to do the same. We spoke with some people who had heard that this may be coming, advocates who had hoped that something like this was coming down the pipe at some point. They were excited that it happened in Louisville, and here is how the president broke the news.
And today I'm proud to announce that I am taking executive action to ensure that our wounded warriors are not saddled with mountains of student debt. In a few moments, I will sign a memorandum directing the Department of Education to eliminate every penny of federal student loan debt owed by American veterans who are completely and permanently disabled.
And the president said that equates to hundreds of millions of dollars for wounded warriors that will be, quote, gone forever. It's a huge relief for veterans. We spoke with one gentleman who is 100% disabled, and he said part of the healing process as you try to heal from the wounds of war is the aspect of knowing that you may have this debt if you were a student beforehand or you had built up student loan debt. And that's just one more hurdle that you have to face as you try to begin to heal and move your life forward past your service time. Another person we spoke with who is 100% disabled, she said she has a lot of questions about this program. Will it help people only who already have that debt, or will it help those who are in the process of building debt, or some who may have just recently decided to forward their college career and will be getting debt in the future? So there will be a lot of questions about this, but this, Lisa, will be the big headline tonight for many across the country that listen to this speech in Louisville. This forgiveness of debt to what the president says will be some 25,000 veterans who has student loans. For now, live at the Galt House, Chris Williams, WHAS 11 News.
Certainly a big newsmaker today coming from the Galt House. Thank you again, Chris Williams. Of course, we're going to have more coverage ahead at 4:30. We're going to continue to follow President Trump's visit here to the Derby City throughout the afternoon. I do want to let you know real quick that JCPS is saying that the middle and high school depot buses are running about 30 minutes behind because of the president's visit. Of course, with all the road closures and some of the traffic difficulties difficulties. Parents need to be aware of that, so I want to make sure we let you know about that. Again, coming up at 4:30, Tyler Emery, she was right there outside the God House. You could see that group of protesters there. Many people protesting Trump and many people supporting him, and clearly some heated conversations going on outside the God House. We'll be talking about that coming up in the next half hour. Doug?
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. And again, at this moment, we want to let you know that President Donald Trump is still in Louisville. He's scheduled to speak at the God House at about 4:15. We'll be keeping an eye on his travels through the city, which will mean I-65 will be shut down again a little later this afternoon. So keep it here on WHAS 11 for live coverage. Well, before heading to Louisville today, President Trump did make some headlines. He accused Jewish Americans of great disloyalty for not being Republican. The Jewish Democratic Council of America denounces the remarks, saying Mr. Trump was trying to weaponize and politicize anti-Semitism for political gain. And it appears his stance on gun background checks is now changing. Sources are telling ABC News that President Trump has reassured the NRA chief, Wayne LaPierre, that he does not support universal background checks now. Also, his administration announced new rules for lengthening the time that migrants who cross the border can be detained. Under the current law, a child can only be held for up to 20 days. And because of that, parents and children caught trying to come into this country have been released into the United States while their asylum requests wind their way through the courts. This change would allow families who come in together to be held for as long as the paperwork takes. Looking for a stress reliever? Well, it's likely just down the street from you. We'll explain as the news moves ahead here at 4 o'clock.
And here, Kentucky Lottery jackpot numbers: Mega Millions, 90 million. Kentucky's Powerball at 40 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education.
Will this be the best season of Dancing with the Stars ever? We're with the stellar.
Very good, Maxwell. Very good, Jenny.
Next, DT.
Tonight at 7 on WHAS 11.
This is a place where the bond is strong. We know no strangers. Working together. Living in the moment. Moving things. With purpose. Delivering unique experiences. Making people whole again. We are one. WHAS 11. We are on your side. HS Game Time on WHAS 11 is delivered by Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Ashley Home Store's Labor Day sale starts right now. For a limited time, save up to 30% off. Save big on items like this queen bed, now only $2.99. Plus, save up to 20%
Hey, Jenny, I
off
wanted to run over some stuff real quick for you. Traffic latest D10.
The Hurry Up and Save sales event is going strong right now at Town and Country Ford. Drive a loaded 2019
Is that something you're going to feed me in my ears? If you already have something?
$239 a month. We've got a great
okay.
selection of new Fusions, like a 19 Fusion SE
The regular
for only
stuff.
$19,988 or $259 a month.
Oh, okay.
And a
Perfect.
19 F-150 Crew Cab STX for just $35,788 or $339 a month. Now that's real savings. Check us out at FordLouisville.com.
Hold on. Let me
Memorial,
check
do you
this
copy?
one down.
We've got a 16-year-old trauma victim going into shock.
Also,
now, Max, you sound loud and clear on the new IFBs, but for some reason the producers do not.
Hi, friends.
Well, evidently they said once they make the full transition with that other stuff in there and replace, and everything's on the same system, it'll be much better. Yeah, that's what Aaron said.
At Sam Aggie, our injury lawyers, we don't
I talked about it
you
live. I just
you
kind of
are
read that they were texting me.
It'll be hard to hear them anymore.
Call 888-8888. G&K's Juliana Valencia is on your side in the morning. Download the app for news on the go.
A great night's sleep starts at Ashley Home Store. Feeling tired all day? Wake up with a sore back? It could be time for a new mattress. Let the sleep experts at Ashley Home Store find the perfect mattress for you. Visit your local Ashley Home Store today. North America's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer.
You might remember this from Monday, the man who lost his wife in the El Paso shooting, then his car was stolen and wrecked. We have a heartwarming update for you. He now has a replacement. A Ford dealer in El Paso gave Antonio Basco a new SUV yesterday. The old car had an emotional connection to his late wife, but he was excited to have a car again. One of the owners took a moment to remember Basco's wife and the other shooting victims in a prayer. And a high school senior in Nebraska is using her senior photos to honor her father who died. The photographer was able to capture angel pictures where her father can be seen with his daughter. Julia is holding a flag in one of the photos. Her father was an Army captain killed in Afghanistan in 2008. The photographer is a military wife and wanted to do something special to include Julia's father in the photos. She has been taking pictures of Julia since she was 9 years old. And if the craziness of life has you down, maybe find a park. Researchers at the University of Vermont discovered that people who went to the park used more positive language and expressed less negativity, at least on Twitter, after their visit. I love how Twitter's the judge. Well, they found the spike in positive social media activity was so pronounced, researchers say it rivals the good vibes found among Christmas Day tweets. And of course, Christmas is considered the happiest day of the year, at least on Twitter.
A lot of good parks around here, especially down by the waterfront.
Oh my gosh, and what weather you have delivered, at least for happy tweets. So you ought to use Twitter to contact TG for the next few days.
There are a few more happy tweets today because not quite as hot, not dealing with the storms.
At least you were telling me yesterday that Shelbyville, that area, got 4 inches of rain yesterday. Are we going to get rain like that tonight?
We've got some that should develop and move in, probably not that locally heavy, but we've got a shot at seeing some very much needed rainfall. Our regional radar and satellite got some higher clouds that have moved over the metro area, and a complex of storms earlier giving way in the little outflow boundary that we talked about this time yesterday moving through Louisville. That's helping to fire additional storms along the Arkansas-Missouri border, but a lot of the in-house data indicating later this evening and overnight should see some activity around. You see the mix of clouds and sunshine. Morgan & Morgan HD Camera Network. Bachman Auto Group Cam, we're at 92, so it's actually a few degrees cooler, believe it or not, than it has been the last couple of days. Our feel likes are in the upper 90s. Bit of a breeze. That is helping somewhat across the metro. It's 91 downtown out to the Highlands and Linden, 93 PRP in Valley Station. Clouds moved in a touch earlier in southern Indiana, so mainly upper 80s there and upper 80s to around 90. Our dew points are high, but just a touch lower than this time yesterday, where it was just really, really tropical out there. Mid and upper 70s were more so low, mid 70s. You can still feel it if you're out and about. Some organized severe weather up in the northeast along a warm front. We've got this front that's stationary for the time being, but it's slowly but surely going to sink to the south. Getting into the next couple of days, that's actually good news because one, it's going to cool our temperatures down, and two, it will bring us some much needed rain. Again, the in-house data has been getting a little slower each run with bringing some of this stuff in. So it may end up being more of an overnight event, and then we'll see some additional development tomorrow, and with more clouds around, probably mid 80s will do it. Now into Friday, it looks like our far southern counties probably have the best chance of seeing any lingering showers. The model's been going back and forth a bit, but now that push of drier air is going to try to win out, even though a little wave of energy rides along it on Friday afternoon. Saturday, we're golden. Look at that, 83 for the afternoon high, where our average high is 88, and our humidity levels should be down. It does look like south of Louisville has the best shot of seeing potentially up to an inch of rain, probably a half inch, maybe 3/4. But look at that push of drier air coming in yet again, and just in time for the weekend. So that's good news. You can see here on the map the deeper blue with the humidity with the front in place tomorrow, and then we start to see that push of drier air, but yet our far southern counties still maybe enough moisture for a shower or thunderstorm there. Saturday looks good, and into Sunday as well. So really things timing out nicely for the weekend. And of course, we're wrapping up the Kentucky State Fair this weekend. Not so great tomorrow. Friday not bad, but really Saturday and Sunday looking pretty ideal with highs and low in mid 80s. So we'll take it. A few storms during the overnight. It's looking later and later as we go along. Warm, muggy 74 coming up tomorrow. Occasional showers and storms, not as hot, only 86 for the afternoon high. In the extended forecast here, This is something we haven't seen in a while. Not a 90-degree temperature to be had. A lot of the models beginning to trend a little bit cooler, and we may even get cooler than that as we wrap up August and heading into September. But again, the good news is a dry weekend, then a few pop-ups coming up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Thank you, TG. JCPS schools will have officers on patrol this year. We're going to detail the district's plan for you coming right up.
Remember, get the guaranteed lowest price in Louisville.
Or it's free at Furniture Fair.
When a friend tells you they settled
Thanks,
their
sir.
injury claim for $50,000, you might think that was good. But what if another law firm wouldn't have taken less than $500,000? If someone sold a brand new Mercedes for $10,000, you'd know they got ripped off. Many people injured in accidents get ripped off every day by the insurance company and their own lawyer. Visit forthepeople.com to see our verdicts against the last offer that was made. Huge differences.
Okay.
There are many firms, but only one.
Okay. Let's. Yeah, because we are going into. Hold on, I'm trying to get all my.
Installed at an affordable cost. We're going to find out right now. Hi everybody, Joe
Okay, coming
with
up
BJ
before we
Worsham,
get
the
to
owner of West Shore Home. And BJ, today we're talking about not just window replacement.
I'm about to just
state-of-the-art
start
window
ripping this
replacement.
stuff.
Affordable.
That's right, Joe. We've helped tens of thousands
doing it
of homeowners keep their homes cool in summer, and most importantly, we're all about making it affordable for everyone.
For years we've been talking about how West Shore Home makes these projects faster, more convenient, risk-free. But today I really want to drill down on how you are making these projects affordable.
Sure, instead of me telling you, let me show you. Here's a local project we did for a family, and you can see they're having a little bit of problems with frame rot on their old windows. And here's what it looks like on the side. And the best part is, Joe, we got this done for them for only $99 a month.
Wow, $99 a month for that. That's incredible. All right, how about for people who are having windows that stick? What causes that?
Sure, a lot of times windows will sag or bow, and that's what's going to let the air penetrate into the home. Here's the National brand, and as you can see, they use a hollow core window. Our exclusive window is a solid core composite frame. That's going to prevent any sort of sagging or bowing.
That just looks better and stronger, and like you would insulate better, no doubt about it. How about people looking for other windows, maybe
There
for
is such a thing.
sliding glass door?
Sure, we have all kinds of styles, and patio doors right now are super popular. Let me show you one more project we did. This family was having all kinds of problems with the glass. It was getting condensation, which was leading to mold. The glass started to fog up.
Really?
Here's what it looks like.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Part, Joe, we got this done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was going to say that's on home ice right there.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, folks. West Shore Home, not just
That's
faster,
very cool.
Not just more convenient, but more affordable too. And call today. Take advantage of Labor Day savings. How about this? Free installation on all window projects. And if you call right now, they'll do no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 full year. Or your windows installed for as low as $99 a month. Call West Shore Home today.
It's ingrained in me. Of course I know what the themes are.
Entertainment tonight. That's what people want.
It's hard to think of entertainment tonight without.
Oh, I know it.
I mean, come on. Since I was a little kid.
This is Entertainment Tonight. This is the Bible of show business.
Weeknights at 7 on WHAS 11.
We've learned the search and recovery involving the woman found dismembered in LaRue County, Kentucky last month has now been postponed. The family of victim Brittany Wilson says not all of her body was discovered and they want to recover all of her. However, investigators tell them that they have found new evidence in this case and they do not want anyone searching that area as of now. Once the family gets a new date for the search, they say they will pass it along. And JCPS has filled 7 of 9 school security officer positions to patrol the schools. This comes after the school board voted to remove security resource officers. School leaders hope to have officers in all schools by February 1st. The goal is to have 50 officers assigned to every middle and high school, with patrols also at elementary schools. A temporary project manager will be hired to implement the program. The board still has to approve this plan for an in-house security force. In a small school district not far from Metro Louisville is facing the possibility of a state takeover after an audit discovered several issues. The West Point, Kentucky Independent School District received the audit results just yesterday. It discovered a lack of leadership, poor communication and writing, along with issues with the district's bookkeeping. It also says the financial officer witnessed shouting matches between the superintendent and the board members. A presidential visit is big in itself, but traffic, of course, is top of mind at this hour. WHAS 11's The Beast is roaming the streets right now as most roads downtown are shut down. The president is at the Sealback at the moment. He's not expected to be leaving Louisville until about an hour from now. We're keeping an eye on President Donald Trump's visit to the River City.
And coming up at 4:30, we're going to take you to outside the Galt House, where several protesters gathered, both in support and opposition of President Trump. We'll go to Tyler Emery next.
HS Game Time on WHAS 11 is delivered by Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Herb Jones Chevrolet Buick GMC, celebrating 50 years. Get 20% below MSRP on the all-new Silverado.
On the corner of Ring Road and Dixie Highway, you're finally home at Herb Jones.
Stop by and see us.
I am Sean. I am an actual client of Sam ADR Injury Lawyers. I was leaving work on my motorcycle and I was hit by a drunk driver. Best thing we did was we called an attorney after the accident. I mean, Sam took care of it all. How many lawyers you know that you can call or text at 11 o'clock
TG, do you
at
think
night
I
they're
could
gonna
plug
respond
in
to
this
you?
thing?
What's that?
Sam has definitely got my back.
Plug in what?
My
This thing's
experience
getting
with
ready to
Sam ADR
die,
was
my
the best
computer.
experience that I could ever have.
I thought they had. I thought those things had.
People with type 2
Power
diabetes are
supplies.
excited about the potential of once-weekly Ozempic.
Hey, Jenny, if Aaron
In a
Pryor's
study
running
with
around here,
Ozempic,
my
a majority
computer's
of
getting ready
adults
to die. I was
lowered their
wondering if I
blood
could.
sugar and
They have
reached
a way
an
to plug it
A1C
in
of
out
less
here.
than 7 and
I
maintained
They're, yeah, they used to.
There he is.
And
I don't know.
you may lose weight.
Yeah, I
In
don't know
the
what the
same
heck they
one-year
did with it.
study,
How long
adults
it is.
lost on average up to 12
It's over there.
pounds.
Where?
Up to 12 pounds.
A 2-year
Here.
study showed that Ozempic does not increase the risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, or death.
Oh, no increased risk.
Ozempic should not be
Okay.
the first medicine for treating diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes.
Jenny, don't
or
forget that
diabetic
video
ketoacidosis.
of I
Do
65
not share
if you want to
needles or
show
pens. Don't
earlier.
use needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of
Oh, we got
medullary
Max.
thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine
Max.
neoplasia syndrome
Okay.
type 2, or if you
What do
are
you think,
allergic
TG?
to Ozempic.
What?
Is it gonna
Stop
work?
taking Ozempic and get medical
Oh,
help right away
there it
if
goes.
you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing.
Yay.
Serious side effects may happen, including
You solved it.
pancreatitis. Tell your
It's lit
doctor
up.
if you have
I'll get it
diabetic
back on real fast
retinopathy
here.
or
I'm just
vision
gonna-
changes.
okay,
Taking
Lisa.
Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or
Thank you, buddy.
insulin may increase the risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects are
Yeah,
nausea,
perfect.
vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain.
That'll save the
Ain't
day.
dealing with Johnny Bananas around here, man.
TG,
You know what we're doing.
man.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
If eligible, you may pay as little as $25 per prescription. Ask your healthcare provider today about once-weekly Ozempic.
Oh, okay. Just tell me
Herb
when
Jones
and I'll
Chevrolet
clean up my
Buick
mess.
GMC, celebrating 50 years. Get 20% below MSRP on the all-new Silverado.
On the corner of Ring Road and Dixie Highway, you're finally home at Herb Jones.
Stop by and see us.
It's been quite the visit so far to Louisville. President Donald Trump still in town at this hour. Hi, everybody, and thanks for staying with us here at 4:30 on WHAS 11 News. As our coverage continues, we've been on the air with you since about after 1:30 this afternoon when President Donald Trump's Air Force One arrived here in Louisville. The president is inside the Sealback Hotel right now for Governor Matt Bevin's private fundraiser, but earlier he signed a memorandum giving student loan relief to 25,000 disabled veterans, and he's expected to leave the Sealback in time to leave for the airport along at about 5:55 estimated time tonight. We have more of our team coverage coming up for you. We're getting a live look at the protests in downtown Louisville. Also, we're going to update the traffic situation for you and give you a look from high above downtown Louisville. We want to begin with Lisa Hudson, who is keeping an eye on Chestnut Street, where we expect the president will exit a little later this afternoon. Hey, Lisa.
Hey Doug, I can tell you it's pretty warm up here today, over 100 degrees up here in Louisville, and I can tell you we're still seeing several police officers with Chestnut blocked off at this moment, again waiting for that event at the Sealback to be over and for President Trump to make his way again to Muhammad Ali International Airport. Well, he will board Air Force One and head back to Washington, D.C. Now, protesters were sending a message to President Trump today during his visit, posting themselves in areas that he was actually scheduled to stop. We're going to go live now to Tyler Emery, who's actually been with these protesters all afternoon. Tyler, we talked with you earlier. We could barely hear what you were saying above the chants of the protesters that you were standing with. What's it like out there now?
Lisa, oh my gosh, earlier it was loud and hard to hear almost anything over chants from supporters and those opposing President Trump. But now you can hear it is pretty quiet out here. There's just a small group of both protesters and supporters left here outside of the Seelbach for the president's last location of his visit here in Louisville. But earlier it was a much different story. Like I said, that there were at least 40 to 50 both protesters to President Trump and supporters of him. There was a little bit of clash back and forth. There was chanting from both sides. There were some harsh discussions between the groups. At one point, police did have to escort 1 to 2 people out of the group because it got a little violent at one point. But then after that, the protesters dissipated. That altercation happened on the side of the Galt House, and then protesters moved to 3rd and Main Street to catch a glimpse of the president as he moved from the Galt House to now where he is at the Seelbach. But as you can see, things are pretty calm here and quiet now as things round out the president's visit here in downtown Louisville.
That those protesters were able to kind of voice their concerns, but luckily no violence, no issues. That's good to hear, Tyler. Thank you so much. Now to another big question on a lot of people's minds today is all this traffic. We're hitting rush hour, and there's so many roads that are closed downtown. This is what we're looking at. The closures downtown include 3rd Street, 4th Street, Muhammad Ali Boulevard, Main Street, and Armory. There's also lots of places that you cannot park. That's on the street and even some parking garages. Now, the president is scheduled to be leaving Louisville just before 6 o'clock tonight. Again, right in the middle of rush hour, the city will again close down part of Interstate 65 for his motorcade to get him to Muhammad Ali International Airport. Again, this is one of those situations where anytime the president's motorcade is on an interstate, no other vehicles are allowed to be on it. So you can expect some delays around that 6 o'clock hour as he begins to head to the airport. Another note for parents, JCPS is letting us know that middle and high school buses are running approximately 30 minutes behind schedule, delivering students home because of these traffic delays that of course have resulted from the presidential visit. So how is the traffic downtown right now? It's been the big question of the day. Lots of folks actually staying home, working from home, instead of trying to make their way downtown. Heather Fontaine, she's in the WHAS 11B. She's been keeping an eye on it. Heather, what are you seeing?
Well, we've been cruising downtown Louisville, just kind of going in a grid around where those roadblocks are. What I can tell you right now at 4:30, as you can see, I-65 is still open at this point. Like you were just saying, it will shut down when the president is on the freeway. It is still open at this point. But as we were driving along Chestnut especially, we saw just police cruisers really clogging up the street, probably getting ready to block the interstate entrance like you can see right here. But right now, downtown, not horrible except around those roadblocks. That is, of course, near the Seelbach. You're going to want to avoid Muhammad Ali. You're going to want to avoid 4th Street. You're going to want to avoid Chestnut as well. Still pretty smooth sailing, though. It is still open. You can see the cars just
looks like Heather was having a little bit of difficulty there. Of course, that looks pretty good. A lot of people heeding the advice. We've been talking about it all week. We kind of knew ahead of time that some of these closures were going to cause some difficulties for travelers. So luckily, the roads are looking okay right now, so that's a good thing. We're thankful for that. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, we're going to head back to the Seelbach Hotel. That is where President Trump is there for the fundraiser for Governor Bevin. Of course, President Trump saying today he plans to make a few visits to Kentucky, campaigning for both Governor Matt Bevin as well as Senator Mitch McConnell. We'll continue our coverage of his visit here to Louisville coming up at 5 o'clock. Doug?
All right, Lisa, see you back here in just a few minutes. By the way, we are posting all of the video and details of President Donald Trump's visit on our website, WHAS11.com, from his arrival in Air Force One just before 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it's on our app. Go ahead and check it out. And a reminder for all of you General Hospital fans, that episode did not air this afternoon. It's going to be aired, though, at 1:35 in the morning, and you can also catch it for free on ABC's website. Now to more news here locally. The jury selected from a central Indiana county, they're ready to start hearing arguments in the Joseph Oberhansley trial. They came down to Clark County, Indiana today for what's likely to be a very disturbing trial. Tonight's Gabrigadis has more details on today's court action.
This high-profile case gained so much attention, so much so a decorum order was posted outside of the courtroom this morning, listing rules and seating instructions to make sure this trial runs smoothly. And something new we've never seen here in the Clark County Courthouse before, officials added an extra metal detector outside of the courtroom. The jurors were sworn in this morning in Hamilton County, and then they were bussed over here today. They are sequestered, so when they were dropped off in their hotel, officials removed the televisions from their rooms and took away their electronics. Now, it took most of the last 2 days to select the jurors who will decide what Joseph Oberhansley's fate is. The man is accused of raping his ex-girlfriend, Tammy Jo Blanton, and then stabbing her. And even more disturbing, prosecutors say after he killed her, he cooked up her organs and ate them.
The details of the crime are horrific, and that was discussed in voir dire with the jurors. They're prepared for the nature of the evidence that has to be presented here. But it's going to be a difficult case for the family members to sit through, those of them that choose to do that.
With this case gaining a lot of attention throughout the states and across the country, the judge wanted to make sure Oberhansley would have a fair trial, so jury selection took place outside of Clark County. Hamilton County is north of Indianapolis, which is just 2 hours from here. The judge also ordered the jurors to pack 3 weeks worth of clothes, so as you can imagine, this trial will be a lengthy one. We'll have much more from the courtroom later tonight at 5:30. In Clark County, tonight's Gabrigadis, WHAS 11 News.
And the Kentucky State Fair has 4 more days left to run. Tonight, the new rules begin for those who are underage. Minors, fairgoers under the age of 18 will have to be accompanied by an adult if you come to the fair after 6 o'clock at night. IDs are going to be required at the gate to verify your proof of age. There will also be increased lighting and extra law enforcement personnel during the peak hours. The fair is implementing this new policy following Saturday's aggressive interactions that led to 7 teenagers being cited, 2 adults arrested, and a professional standard unit investigation about 1 officer with LMPD. Another popular Kentuckiana festival is following the Kentucky State Fair's lead. The Gaslight Festival in Jeffersontown, which will be in the middle of next month, will also require teenagers under the age of 18 to have an adult with them at night. Paulina Butska has details on this announcement.
Just last night, the mayor, J-Town Police, and the city chamber came up with a curfew for teenagers who are planning to attend this year's Gaslight Festival. They hope that this will keep the friendly vibe of their 50-year festival while giving festival goers a peace of mind as far as safety is concerned. Now, officials are still ironing out the details, but so far the goal is to make sure any teenager under the age of 18 needs to be accompanied by an adult or leave the festival after 7 p.m. These rules apply mainly for the weekend crowd, but they can change closer to festival time.
This is a large Gaslight Festival for our agency and for our city. And we want everybody to come out and know that it's a safe venue to come to. You can bring your family, your children.
The festival doesn't officially start until September 13th and it goes on through the 15th, which leaves some time for these rules to change if they need to. For now, J-Town Police tell me any teenager at the festival after that curfew will be asked to leave if not accompanied by an adult. At 5:30 tonight, find out what residents in the area think of this curfew. Reporting in J-Town, I'm Paulina Butska for WHAS 11 News.
And on the look at sports this afternoon, a UofL receiver is hoping for a bounce-back season. And can Terry Wilson be the leader that the Kentucky Wildcats need? Ken Spencer is joining us now with both stories, and we're going to start with the Louisville Cardinals. Hey, Kent.
Hey, Doug. How you doing? You know, Des Fitzpatrick is by far Louisville's best returning wide receiver. He's hoping to have a big bounce-back junior season for the Cards. Fitzpatrick's numbers were down last year from his freshman season, but let's face it, the offense was just flat out bad a year ago. One way he's taken his game to a new level, Fitzpatrick says he's becoming more of a student of the game when it comes to understanding coverages.
whatever position they're in, I can read the defense like that, and based off my route, run my route off the defense. I think that's just kind of what I'm working on the most, and that just helps with the next level, hopefully, if I'm blessed enough to get there, and hopefully even after that, being a coach, because that's kind of what I'm working for too, so just learning the game.
Well, the coaches have made it pretty clear at Kentucky. Terry Wilson's the team's leader. Eddie Grand says Wilson has had a really good fall camp and likes the way a signal caller is playing. However, Wilson is more of a leader by example than a vocal one. But when you're the guy, there has to be more. Wilson admits he is trying to be more vocal, but it's certainly a work in progress.
I say when things are going my way, out on the football field, when I'm not doing, probably not the best, just staying on top of myself and getting out of my ways and staying vocal for the other guys, because, I'm the leader of this football team and, I got to lead this offense.
At times he'll be that giant leader that you want, but I think it's just his actions and what he does that he does, and he's just not that guy that's going to hoot and holler.
And the Louisville basketball team has named their team captains for the upcoming season, voted on by the players themselves. It's Ryan McMahon, Dwayne Sutton, and Malik Williams. Plus, tonight at 6, I'm going to show you, because I know you haven't seen these yet, the Louisville football team will wear Muhammad Ali themed uniforms for their game against Boston College this season.
Longtime supporters of the champ, and of course Lonnie Ali with the athletic program. But back to UK, Terry Wilson only took him to a bowl game. They won it. Why is he still being questioned?
Well, I think he just needs to be more of a leader. Look, last year on that team that won 10 games and won the Citrus Bowl, you had Josh Allen on defense and you had Benny Snell on offense. Those two guys were really the heart and soul of the team. Those guys are gone. They're playing on Sundays now in the NFL. They need somebody to step up and be a vocal presence, especially on that offensive end. It's got to be him. He's the quarterback. He's the guy everybody's looking at.
All right, thank you very much, Kent. Well, is Spider-Man's movie future really in jeopardy? We're going to take a look at this pretty interesting new information about it. Plus, a bear made himself at home in California with 2 kids inside the house, of course caught on camera. But how did they get him out of the house?
And here, Kentucky Lottery jackpot numbers: Mega Millions, 90 million. Kentucky's Powerball at 40 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education.
WHAS 11 News is sponsored by Neil Huffman Automotive Group.
Yeah. He's gonna. I'm going to be on that. But
What
notice
kind of
right
pizza
there
do you know,
how there's
Jenny?
still-
Can you get that information
There's
for
still
me?
some traffic there. Yeah, well. Well, they probably exponentially close it, either down this way or up this way.
Right now at the Kia stores, new
See,
2019
there's still
Kia
cars
Plus
going
are only
underneath there.
$19,998.
And they wouldn't be letting them on.
So what are we showing?
I'm going to show that on my, when I'm showing temperatures. But
that's
Swiss
Louisville.
Wine Festival is
Yeah.
back again
Yes, sir.
from August 22nd through 25th in Bevin, Indiana. Sammy Kershaw, Colin Ray, and Aaron Tippin will perform on Friday night. Enjoy over 100 Indiana wines at the Wine Tasting Pavilion. Grape Stomp, amusement ride, and a variety
I was
of
gonna say,
craft
we don't need
beers
to check.
will take over their Riverfront
Well,
Park. Don't miss the
Okay,
wonderful
well, this,
food,
of course,
Saturday's
what they're
grand
showing
festival
on.
parade, and so
We
much
oughta-
more
you're going to take care of this?
you
Chief?
Well,
Swiss Wine Festival
we're
is
going to.
August 22nd.
He can call up Max 3 if he wants to. Just zoom in
Why
down.
not?
I wonder if they're anticipating the president's departure there.
From attorney
No.
Mike Sullivan.
No, I mean, we're looking at downtown. I'm wondering why I-65 is so backed up.
Well, because they're probably about to shut it down because it's at a standstill now.
They're probably going to say
Well,
something like,
which route are they going to take him? They're going to take him the opposite way, down the northbound lanes?
Grocery shopping.
Or maybe they're going to get on.
They have a Chestnut. Ah, yeah, because they're going to get on at Chestnut.
Call 888-587-0228. Call now.
Breakwave is the home of the $159
Oh
four-wheel
my
brake job.
gosh.
We're talking brakes on all 4 wheels of any car, truck,
Oh,
or SUV.
yeah.
Fast in and out service.
And
parts
the
labor
truck's off to the
guarantee.
left.
All for $159. Plus, if you want to save even more, mark your calendars for midweek because everyone wins on Wednesday and you get 15%
So
off.
the truck's
Nobody
off to the
beats
side, but you're right, the
deal on
median
brakes.
is scorched.
Breakway has 9 locations throughout Louisville, Clarksville, LaGrange, and E-Town.
No injuries?
Right now at the Kia stores, take home a new 2019 Kia Sorento for only $23,998. And we want your old car, even if you owe more than it's worth. Only at the Kia stores.
We're following breaking news, a traffic alert. This is video recorded just moments ago from a Trimark camera. We're looking at the Gene Snyder Freeway right near Smyrna, where we are told that a semi-truck carrying pizza caught fire. You can see the truck smoldering on the left of your screen, but take a look at the median. All of that scorched grass there. So this was quite the fire there. Again, a semi-truck carrying pizza catching fire. Right now, no reports of any injuries, but 2 lanes are blocked. This is expected to be closed about 3 hours. Now, this is the Gene Snyder Freeway near Smyrna. This is way out of the zone of where President Donald Trump will be traveling here in moments down to the airport. He's expected to leave Louisville, wheels up with Air Force One at about 5:30 tonight. And now, of course, it's at 4:46. We'll keep an eye on this on the Gene Snyder and also the president's movements from the seal back to the airport. Coming right up. There's some alarming news today for Marvel superhero fans. Marvel Studios may be stepping away from the cross-studio partnership with Sony, putting Spider-Man's future in jeopardy. Apparently, there's a disagreement over the profit sharing on the movies, but we are told negotiations are not yet final, so there's still hope to see your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Spider-Man Far From Home, by the way, is now the highest grossing film ever in Sony Pictures history. It is well over $1 billion in revenue. There will also be a live-action version of another Disney classic cartoon, Lady and the Tramp. If that's not enough excitement, a dog from a Phoenix animal shelter has been chosen to play the Tramp. A group of Hollywood animal trainers discovered Monty, a 2-year-old terrier mix. One of them even adopted the pup, and there's no word whether they found the Cocker Spaniel to play Lady. The movie will premiere on the new Disney Plus streaming service when it launches on November 12th. And a family in California had a mess to clean up after a burglar broke into their vacation home, but it wasn't just any burglar. It was a black bear, TG, can you believe it? And caught on a camera set up inside of his home.
Nothing surprises me.
Take a look. He made his way into the house. You'll see him come in there in the background while the teenagers were inside. 2 teenagers there. Here he comes to the door. Now, the kids were watching TV last weekend when they heard rummaging coming from the kitchen.
He's in the refrigerator.
Surveillance video shows he's making the noise. Yes, he's raiding the refrigerator, finding taco meat and ice cream.
Unbelievable.
The boys barricaded themselves inside another room while the bear walked through the living room. And one of them was able to call 911 using his smart watch, and a deputy soon arrived and scared the bear away. Police believe the bear came in through an open garage door and then an unlocked door right into the house.
I'm impressed the fact that he could open the refrigerator door just like it was nothing.
He is. I love him. I love him. They're cute from this distance, right? Well, again, we're following President Donald Trump in Louisville, and TG is going to show you an interesting MetroCam shot that we just noticed of I-65 at the hospital curve.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Ben Pond and I just, within the last 10, 15 minutes, traffic was flowing well, and now going southbound on 65, it's come to a halt. So we were talking maybe the route's going to be getting on, say, around Chestnut or maybe First Street there off of Broadway after he leaves. But I'll show you that in a second. But first, let's show you what's going on a regional radar and satellite. It's been quiet. It's been a hot and humid day. We had a thunderstorm complex weekend, that outflow boundary shooting eastward. And so a few little isolated storms developing across parts of southwestern Indiana. Most of it is back across parts of southern Missouri. Here it is, our Morgan & Morgan HD camera network, our furniture fair cam. It looks like it's frozen, but it's not. It's a live cam. Traffic is just not moving at all. So Louisville Metro Police may have already started to block those exits in anticipation of President Trump leaving the Sealback and heading down to Louisville International here shortly. Now, up toward Liberty Street here and beyond, because he's not taking that route, traffic is still allowed to flow under the interstate. So this may be and definitely is something you're going to want to avoid. If you're going to be heading that direction, just wait it out a while because it's going to be backed up for a bit. We're at 92 out at the International Airport. Feels like 97. Got a little bit of a breeze out of the west, 15 to 20 across the area. Upper 80s to around 90, even across southern Indiana. Our dew points, they're high everywhere, all across the Ohio and Tennessee Valley. Plenty of moisture out there, and with the front off to our north, that's going to set the stage for additional showers and storms later on. Organized severe weather through the major cities in the northeast. southeast. There's that front, which will be on the move. Interestingly enough, our in-house data, each run continues to delay the arrival of these storms. I was trying to pick up those few that just popped up across southwestern Indiana, but then they diminished. I mean, look at 10:30 tonight. We're still dry, and then eventually this stuff creeps in here during the wee hours, and it may actually end up being a little wet in spots for the morning commute tomorrow, and then additional rain and storms develop. One bit of good news is with the expected cloud cover, temperatures held in check. Best chances of rain will come tomorrow, and I think the Friday chance pretty much confined to our far southern counties. High pressure over the Great Lakes. It's going to push drier air in, and that's going to help us out. And look at temperatures Friday and Saturday. Really looking good as far as rainfall totals. I do think the best chance for maybe up to an inch, let's cross our fingers that we can get that, will be along and south of the parkways, maybe a half an inch. Look at how the humidity again drops off as that drier air pushes in. You can see it here hanging on tomorrow, but then as we get into Friday, just our southern counties, and then Saturday it looks good, Sunday as well. So the timing perfect for the upcoming weekend as far as it being relatively comfortable for the end of August. And speaking of the end, we got the final weekend wrapping things up on Sunday for this year's Kentucky State Fair. Not so great tomorrow, decent on Friday, but Saturday and Sunday pretty much ideal. So if you haven't had a chance to head out to the fairgrounds, it'll be a perfect weekend for it. So scattered storms, I think mainly overnight, a few in the morning, and then we'll see those off and on. Again, with the clouds around, temperatures into the mid-80s for afternoon highs. And again, the extended forecast, haven't seen this in a while, not a 90-degree temperature to be had. Hopefully that'll hold sway here. Looking good this weekend. More showers possible next week.
All right, thank you very much, TG. A video game chat takes an illegal turn, and the FBI was notified. What a teenager is accused of threatening.
If you're dreaming of a spacious new
Hey,
shower
Jenny.
to replace that old
With you.
tub,
It'd be great
you
to
might
show
thinking
that
of the big
I-65
box
shot
home.
again.
literally,
Either that or let Michael know about it, whatever you can work out.
The owner of West Shore
Until
Homes,
you
BJ
look
Workman.
off in the
BJ,
distance
they were
and see the
talking
car.
bathroom modeling, and I really want to
that-
drill
Yeah,
down
that can.
One truck at the bottom
getting ready
literally
for Trump
is
to go
not
down to the
moving.
airport.
with the local bath experts at West Shore Homes.
So
Sure,
this,
Joe,
they
there's
shut
many
this thing down, what, 10 minutes
That's
ago, guys?
Yeah, it was probably 5 minutes before we started doing weather. Of course, I'll get
And it
this
really all
thing
starts with
timed.
that free in-home design consultation.
And that consultation, that first meeting, that's no obligation to buy, correct?
Absolutely.
Explain how that works.
Sure, so what we do is we're going to come out to the house, and 50% of the stress from a home improvement project is going to be that I'm going to worry about what I pick out. It's not going to be styles, colors, it's all going to come together. So but we completely eliminate that risk with our in-home design application.
Can you show us the app?
Sure, take a look. So what you want to do first is pick your base. Do you want a shower base or a tub base? Then you pick the walls, colors, textures, add in fixtures and accessories, put it all together and really get to design the bath of your dreams.
In that first consultation, right? Absolutely. Okay, how about the other half of the equation, the installation? BJ, you believe that to be the most important part.
Sure, the second 50% of the
This
worries
early
gonna
stuff
come that
doesn't
we're limited
very organized.
construction zone for weeks on
The day
end.
ending at
Project's
the
going to go over time and over budget, and with that, you don't have to worry because
This thing's kind of hard to get on, no?
90% are done in just one day.
One day installation. Now, BJ, how's that possible?
Sure, so go back to the big box stores. What they're going to do is take that work and subcontract it out to another company. What we do is we use our own employee installers. They're going to follow a process, get those jobs done in just one day, and it also allows us to give a double lifetime warranty.
BJ, thanks so much, folks. When it comes to bath remodeling, West Shore Homes, easier,
Yeah, you must be going
risk-free, plus
southbound at
faster
first.
and stress-free too. Call them today. Take advantage of Labor Day savings. Get this, they're doing free installation on all bath projects. Plus, if you call right now,
Stand up,
it's no
OT.
money down, no payments, and no interest for one full year. Call West Shore Home today.
Get your tickets today for the Kentucky State Fair, presented by Gincana, August 15th through the 25th. Jam out with us at the Texas Roadhouse Concert Series, free with admission to the fair. We have thrilling
I-65
rides,
is a parking lot.
mouth-watering food, daring
You
performances,
guys feel
the
free to
World's
use that camera as
Championship
much as
horse
possible. I
show,
don't know.
and so much
I've
more.
been telling them to weave it in, but every time you can talk.
I-65 and the
Visit
Snyder at Smyrna.
KYStatefair.org for details. Join us where Kentucky comes together.
A new mass shooting threat in Florida, this time involving a 15-year-old accused of targeting his school. Police body camera captures the moments officers handcuff him with his mother right there. Investigators say the boy wrote on a video game chat platform under a fake name that he vows to bring his father's M15 to school and kill 7 people at minimum. The comment was quickly reported to the FBI.
The little boy!
do anything wrong. Yes, he's 15, but he's still a little boy, and he's not one of the crazy people out there doing stuff.
Okay, what he did.
And his mother admits the family has a gun, but didn't say anything about a high-powered rifle, and no other weapons were discovered. The case is among 5 high-profile arrests in less than a week after threats of mass shootings. Authorities remind everyone, if you see or hear something, say something. They are committed to stopping all threats before they can become a reality. Attorneys for the Marshall County, Kentucky teenager accused of last year's shooting that killed 2 students have asked a judge to suppress his statements to investigators. Defense lawyers for 17-year-old Gabe Parker, who's being charged as an adult, say investigators did not obtain a proper waiver of the teen's Miranda rights, didn't correctly contact his mom, and didn't properly comply with the mother's request for an attorney. The Marshall County prosecutor says he believes testimony shows police followed all the procedures correctly. The judge says he expects to issue a ruling on this next month. Our coverage of the presidential visit continues in just a few minutes. Traffic already being stopped in downtown Louisville, getting ready for President Donald Trump's departure from the Sealback to the airport. Air Force One expected to leave at about 5:30 or so tonight. We're looking through the eyes of the beast caught in traffic right now.
To start this business 50 years ago and to see us here today, 10 franchises strong, 300 plus employees, it's something special. The future of the Huffman Automotive Group is another 50 years.
Relax. Enjoy the wilderness setting with all the comforts of home. Explore. Set off on a new adventure. Mountain Laurel Lake, only 50 miles from Louisville. Book a cabin with your own personal hot tub and fishing boat. Close enough to home, but far enough away. Mountain Laurel Lake, Kentucky's best kept secret. Call 1-888-263-9150.
Get ready to crave Checkers and Rallies because Texas Toast Garlic Bread, covered in crispy onions and sweet smoky barbecue sauce. You just won at eating for only $2.49. New Texas Toast Garlic Bread doubles. Checkers and Rallies. Fast foodies know the deal.
Every internet and TV provider promises you their best, but the other guys have that. And this little mark hides some big restrictions, like the fact you have to sign a contract. And they have early termination fees.
It's also an honor to be the Commander-in-Chief of the greatest fighting force the world has ever known, the United States
With no contracts, no early termination fees, and dozens of extras free. Like a free modem and security suite with Spectrum Internet, delivering more speed, more consistently for the best.
What's the plan, Will?
Gaming. Get Spectrum
I got you.
Internet for $44.99 a month. Call 855.
Am I wrapping the 4 or what are we doing?
Then enjoy the best in entertainment with Spectrum
Okay,
TV,
gotcha.
with more HD and more free on demand. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Upgrade to the best. Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each. Call 855-646-4499.
When you get hurt, you know what to do.
Call Hughes and Coleman.
800-800-4600.
Studies show people who call a lawyer on average get up to 3 times more money.
That's a lot of shakes.
800-800-4600.
Hughes and Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Remember that time we wanted a classic burger, but we also wanted a spicy chicken sandwich? I remember that. 2 sandwiches for $3.50? You're a cheap date. Is this a date? I think this is a date. Get 2 sandwiches all to yourself, plus fries and a drink for $3.50. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
It's also an honor to be the Commander-in-Chief of the greatest fighting force the world has ever known, the United States military, and it's stronger today.
President Trump in Louisville telling our veterans it's an honor to be speaking to them.
And tonight at 5, we have team coverage of the rest of his time here in Louisville, the impact it's having on our streets right now as we speak, as he's getting ready to leave, and more of what he had to say at the AMVETS conference at the Galt House.
And it's been another hot one. Temperature 94 today. We have some more storm chances heading our way. I'll time out the unsettled weather coming up.
And more local news. 5 years after a gruesome murder in southern Indiana, the trial of Joseph Oberhansley is beginning as he's maintaining his innocence. And a Floyd County teenager being charged with arson after law enforcement says he's confessed to doing it. WHAS 11 News at 5 starts right now. Hi again, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Doug Proffitt. President Donald Trump expected to leave the Sealback Hotel at any moment now. I-65 already shut down and other major streets after their fundraiser for Governor Matt Bevin. Lisa Hudson is joining us from downtown Louisville, keeping an eye on how things are going from the rooftop of WHAS, where you've got a great view of Chestnut Street there. Lisa?
That's right, Doug, and it's been fairly quiet, at least on this stretch of downtown. Many of the roads are closed, but we have been keeping an eye out to see for any activity that's coming from that direction of the Sealback Hotel. We're only 2 blocks away, so we're hoping we'll be able to catch a glimpse of that. Our Dennis Ting is actually there outside the Sealback Hotel. Just after 3 o'clock today, though, we want to talk about President Trump's visit to the Galt House, where he spoke to the AMVETS National Convention. That's when he signed a presidential memorandum to forgive student loan debt held by some disabled veterans. Of course, I spoke with a few service members that have been texting me. They say they heard those words and chills went up and down their spine. They're very grateful for that action by President Trump today. Chris Williams is going to tell us more about what he said in his speech at the Galt House in just a few moments. Right now, he is wrapping up his time with Governor Matt Bevin in the Sealback Hotel, and that is where we find Dennis Ting. He's going to tell us exactly what's going on out there. Is there any activity, Dennis? Is he there? Is he about to leave? What's going on?
Well, the area here around the outside of the front of the Galt House has cleared out considerably over the past hour. There still are a group of people here, some protesters, some supporters out here, hoping to catch a glimpse of the president leaving the Sealback a little later today. Now, police started closing off the area downtown near the Sealback around noon. Pretty shortly after, people started gathering around outside, hoping to see the president coming in. Now, while there are still some protesters here, many of the people who waited hours out here say they just wanted to see some history. Well, now, right now we see there is actually a big group of a small group of protesters who have gathered out here, and they are chanting towards the Sealback. Again, we aren't sure where President Trump will be leaving or when he will be leaving. We don't believe that he will be leaving from the frontier, but you can hear those people chanting right just a few feet away from me. Now, some people they waited several hours to try to see President Trump. A lot of them say they were a little disappointed. We apologize for the profanity right now. For now, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Dennis, thank you so much. Of course, many protesters were actually outside the Galt House earlier today, many in support and many in opposition. And we're going to talk with Tyler Emery about that coming up. Now, the president is expected to leave Louisville around 6 o'clock in just about an hour. We're going to continue to talk about his time here after he's gone. Now, you could take a look back at all of our team coverage throughout the day on our website, WHAS11.com, or just download our free WHAS 11 app, and that's where you're going to also find those updates on traffic, and that is certainly going to be the concern over the next hour, Doug.
Getting ready to move. That's because you are looking at I-65 southbound from our live Metro camera right there at Hospital Curve. Now let me tell you what you're viewing here. Take a look at the northbound lanes, all wide open. Southbound lanes closed. This is because Metro Police have shut down the interstate for all the southbound traffic. What you can't see on your screen, Chestnut Street, and that's where we believe President Donald Trump's motorcade will enter I-65 to head right down to the airport where Air Force One has been waiting for him this afternoon. And so the traffic has been held, I'd say about 4:45 this afternoon is when they first shut it down. We watched this, so they've been sitting in traffic now for 20 minutes, and it's going to be a little bit longer. Air Force One not expected to leave until about 5:30 tonight. Let's check in with Heather Fontaine. She covered the president's arrival at 1:30 or so this afternoon. Now Heather is in the Beast. We are stuck in traffic. I don't see you moving much, Heather. What's going on there?
Hey, Doug, I tell you what, I feel their pain. We're stuck in traffic too, but I think the motorcade is just about to come down. So I'm going to toss it back to you.
All right, Heather, thank you very much. And these are live pictures. This is Chestnut Street, the alleyway down behind the sealback. And there goes President Donald Trump. He is leaving Louisville on time. Can we hear any audio from this? You can see a remarkable number. Again, you're looking live at Chestnut Street, right from the backside of the sealback. And President Donald Trump's limousine will be coming around here in a minute. A remarkable number of cars in the motorcade. We even noticed this when they came up I-65. And he will be departing Louisville nearly on time. Long line, always followed by ambulances, medical personnel, top law enforcement in the city. President Donald Trump arrived at the sealback at about 4:15 this afternoon, where he has been holding a private fundraiser involving Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin. So the limo is now on its way downtown, on its way to the airport, where Air Force One waits its departure at about 5:25 this evening. And Kristen Goodwillie is there. She has been following Chris Williams. Let's go to Chris Williams, He covered the president's speech at the Galt House earlier today. He spoke for just about under an hour today. About 2,000 people greeted him with a huge round of applause. And Chris Williams is joining us now to sum up what he had to say. Talked a lot about veterans issues, also veteran suicides. Chris.
Yeah, and Doug, a lot of happening all over town as people wait to see as the president starts to leave town. But here at the Galt House was the main event for most people who would get a chance to see the president. He said just shy of 2,000 people here with the AMVETS Convention. The president tried to steer clear from making this a political stump speech. He even chuckled at one point when he almost slipped and gave his campaign motto. But he pointed out the work that he says is being done by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Governor Matt Bevin that he says means that they should be reelected. And he vowed to work with them to get that done. But this group, AMVETS, in their 75th year, they fight for veterans and their families. So much of the president's address focused on issues important to them. And he signed a plan to forgive college debt for those who are 100% disabled. And he talked of what he called rebuilding American military might and pride.
We gather today at a truly incredible time for our nation. We are reawakening American pride, American confidence, and American greatness. We are America first. It's about time, too. It's about time, wouldn't you say? We hear America first. You didn't used to hear that.
The crowd cheered that line as well as others when the president spoke of military successes and the promise that if our enemies challenge us, that America will, quote, crush them with overwhelming might. The president was given a standing ovation as he left the stage with Governor Matt Bevin and headed over to the sealback for that fundraiser for the governor. Live at the Galt House, Chris Williams, WHAS 11 News.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the president's exit. Also tonight, a Floyd County man passed away 2 weeks after suffering terrible burns in a house fire. Now his teenage nephew is being accused of setting the fire.
And some active weather developing to our northwest. We will have a chance for some storms tonight and tomorrow. We'll time that out with Futurecast next. Your Kentucky Lottery jackpots, Mega Millions at 90 million, Powerball 40 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education.
Okay. Where is she now? Still stuck in traffic?
Bad day to be on the roads. Bad day to be on the roads.
Get your most accurate forecast with Caitlin Fish. Download the WHAS 11 app for weather on the go.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthTalks.com to view a video of Drs. Todd Shanks and Parag Savick on treating brain tumors with
hey,
Trubine.
are we going, am I tossing to Heather out of the break, you said?
If your heating and cooling system is old and inefficient, now is the time to give BJ Heating and Cooling a call for your free estimate. BJ Heating and Cooling, your local factory authorized Bryant dealer, whatever it takes, has teamed with Bryant Equipment to offer up to 60 months 0% financing with approved credit. Celebrating over 35 years helping Kentuckiana with all their heating and cooling needs. Make sure your estimate on a new system is from BJ Heating and Cooling. You will not be disappointed.
Call the experts you can trust at BJ Heating and Cooling.
The Hurry Up and Save sales event is going strong right now at Town & Country Ford. Drive a loaded 2019 Escape SE for just $20,988 or $239 a month. We've got a great selection of new Fusions, like a 19 Fusion SE for only $19,988 or $259 a month, and a 19 F-150 Crew Cab STX for just $35,788 or $339 a month. Now that's real savings. Check us out at FordLouisville.com.
Town & Country Ford. Powerball is throwing the ultimate party, and one lucky winner is going to win $1 million. Introducing Powerball's New Year's Rockin' Eve VIP experience. You and a guest could take the trip of a lifetime to New York City, packed with exclusive access to the biggest events in town. Plus, you'll receive an entry for a chance to become the first Powerball millionaire of 2020. Announced live on Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. The only way to win is to play Powerball, so get your ticket today. Available at your favorite Kentucky Lottery retailer or online at KentuckyLottery.com.
Hi, Shane Hoffman with Neil Huffman Subaru on the Dixie, and this month during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, you can lease a brand new Subaru Impreza for just $259 a month, and we even have interest rates as low as 0% financing for up to 72 months. That's all going on now. That's Neil Huffman Subaru on the Dixie. Huffman has it.
Happening right now, President Donald Trump is on his way to the airport. He has left downtown Louisville from the Sealback Hotel, as we showed you that exit live a moment ago. Now, here's what you're looking at. This is our live Metro camera where Metro Police have shut down I-65. He got on at Chestnut Street, which you cannot see on this camera view, and they will keep I-65 closed at all of the underpasses until the president is safely down to the airport. He's expected to leave. Air Force One expected to leave shortly after 5:30 tonight, so his exit is now running on time. Heather Fontaine has been following the traffic on the streets in the Beast, and she is joining us now to give us an update on the drive. Not much of a drive. Heather, you're not even moving an inch.
Not much of a drive at all. I feel their pain for those drivers on I-65. At 4 o'clock, we were cruising. Now we are completely stuck. Take a look. Here's the view from the Weather Beast. Right now I'm on 3rd Street between Muhammad Ali and Chestnut. I can tell you we turned onto this street at 4:45. We have not moved since. So it is completely still. We're going to give you an entire spin around so you can see the traffic ahead of us is totally stuck and the traffic behind us is pretty backed up as well. It was pretty cool though. About 5 minutes ago we did see that motorcade passing 3rd Street on Chestnut, so we were able to get a glimpse of the president headed back to the airport. But for us in downtown Louisville, we haven't moved at all, and I don't anticipate us moving at all anytime soon. Doug?
That would match up, Heather. That's when we noticed that I-65 shut down at about 4:45, now going on to 30 minutes on a wait. So we'll continue to watch the traffic for you. More news here tonight. Back in mid-June, 2 people were seriously hurt after a fire in Floyd County. Dorothy and Michael Hersker were taken to the hospital with terrible burns. 2 weeks later, Michael died while being treated. We learned today that their 14-year-old nephew, Adam, is being charged as an adult with setting that fire. Adam Hersker is officially charged with committing arson, resulting in the serious injury of his legal guardians. Michael Hersker suffered burns that covered nearly 90% of his arms and legs. 3 children were also in the house, but they were able to escape and were not hurt. According to court documents, Adam confessed to lighting the fire by pouring gasoline on the carpet and setting it with a match. He says he was upset at them due to an argument that had happened the day before and wanted to hurt them. The teenager has pleaded not guilty. He's being held in the Clark County, Indiana jail and will be held in court next month. Well, President Donald Trump is on his way out of Louisville. Air Force One will be taking off here in moments. He's got a lot on his plate beside the visit here. Lisa Hudson's going to catch us up on the latest news coming from the administration today. Lisa?
Well, that's right, Doug. It has been quite a week for the president. I mean, in just the last couple of days alone, he and his administration have made some pretty big stances on things like gun control, immigration camps, even talking about how Jewish people should not be voting Democrat.
And I think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty. All right? Thank you very much, everybody.
You can imagine those comments causing a little bit of controversy on Twitter as well. The president was commenting on the recent issue coming from Israel's barring of U.S. Congresswomen Ilhan Omar and Rashid Tlaib from entering the country. Now, the two Democratic representatives are pretty outspoken critics of Israel and their treatment of Palestinian people. Trump encouraged Israel to bar them from entering shortly before they were barred, and he maintains that he believes it was the right decision. And also internationally, the president has canceled his trip to Denmark. This comes just days after the country said Greenland, which they mostly own, is not for sale. Denmark's Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, calls it an absurd discussion. And this morning, we learned that the White House is moving to end a long-standing federal court agreement. That agreement states that immigrant children caught crossing the border can only be held for up to 20 days. Now, because of that restriction, parents and children caught trying to come into the country have been released into the U.S. while their asylum requests make their way through the courts. The move is almost certain to spark a new court fight over the government's ability to hold families until their cases are decided. And after a phone call with NRA Chief Wayne LaPierre, Trump says that he does not support universal background checks on guns. The president believes that America has, quote, very strong background checks right now, and that the big issue is mental health. Now, Louisville's mayor, Greg Fisher, earlier today, he spoke with CNN specifically about gun reform. Kind of interesting considering President Trump was here in his city. And of course, the mayor saying he's been saying since the shootings in El Paso and in Dayton that this is an issue that needs to be addressed. In a tweet, he writes, common sense gun safety reform is needed now. He says lawmakers in Washington need to act. At 5:30, we're going to be taking a closer look at what the president had to say today about his tax cut proposals, as well as some of the other comments that he made here at the Galt House. Doug?
All right, very good. Thank you, Lisa. Now we're less than a month away from the third round of Democratic debates in the 2020 presidential campaign. And right now it's down to 10 people. Former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro made the cut yesterday. To qualify, candidates need at least 2% to support in at least 4 approved polls. They also need money from 130,000 different donors. The deadline to qualify is 1 week from today.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
And this was the scene at noon today at the Galt House as former Miss America and veterans advocate Heather French Henry of Louisville singing the national anthem to kick off things at the American Veterans 75th Convention in Louisville. And of course, she is also a candidate for Secretary of State. Again, Heather French Henry getting things started with the national anthem. Well, let's talk about our weather and traffic. Ben's going to cover it all for you tonight because we're also wondering if we're going to get any more rain this afternoon.
I think it's going to be later on tonight, higher rain chance here for us. And getting another look outside, some good news if you're trying to navigate our area roadways. You can see I-65 is starting to crawl. There you can see that traffic opening back up on 65 north and south through downtown, through Hospital Curve. Now, Interstate 65 is not the only trouble spot. The Snyder westbound lanes have been closed due to a semi-fire there for quite some time, and it is backed up both ways near Smyrna Road through Okolona. So it's been busy on the roadways all day long. 94 degrees our high temperature for today, just adding up the many days that we've been in the 90s this summer. 6 degrees above our normal high of 8800, the record set back in 1983. As we look at the rest of our Kentucky State Fair forecast, scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for tomorrow. High temperature at 86 degrees. Notice the big change, no more 90s here in this extended forecast. A couple of showers possible Friday, mainly south of Louisville in Kentucky. A high temperature at 84 degrees. This weekend looks awesome. 83 degrees on Saturday, low humidity. Partly to mostly sunny and 85 degrees and looking dry on Sunday as well. Still a hot one out there. 91 feels like 97. Just a fairly light wind from the west and some fairly tropical air is in place, but it is mainly dry across Kentuckiana right now. Those temperatures mostly in the upper 80s to the lower 90s, and you can see the map is mainly dry. As we look out to the west and look very, very closely, look at a couple tiny showers near 64 as you head west of Louisville out towards Perry County. Between there and Evansville, a few little tiny showers and thunderstorms popping up. More activity closer to a front that's going to drop into our area tomorrow and give us a good chance of those scattered showers and thunderstorms. So here's a look at Futurecast. Mostly dry, fairly quiet for much of this evening. Here is 10:30 p.m. But as we go through the overnight, that front gets closer, disturbance is getting closer, and you can see a fairly widespread area, some showers and thunderstorms during the overnight and out the door tomorrow morning. May want to allow a little extra time if you're going to be hitting some wet roads getting started on our Thursday morning. Into the afternoon with that front nearby, some scattered showers and thunderstorms expected for our Thursday. Low severe weather threat, but any shower or storm in this environment could put down some very heavy rainfall and some lightning and thunder. Here's Thursday night, still looking at a chance of some spotty showers and thunderstorms, and then that front starts to make its way to the south. So mostly dry conditions on Friday, although a few showers will be possible, especially to the south of Louisville on our Friday. Our forecast for tonight, low temperature is 74 degrees, some outlying areas in the upper 60s and lower 70s, and don't be surprised if you hear some thunder during the overnight. Tomorrow, temps in the 80s with some scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll start to see most of that rain chance off to the south on Friday. The weekend shaping up great, 83 Saturday, Sunday 85, and more 80s into next week.
Thank you very much, Ben. Traffic is the story at this hour as President Donald Trump and Air Force One getting ready to lift off in moments from now. The president is at the airport now, and that's why you see traffic is starting to move. This view in downtown Louisville, we'll keep an eye on this for you through the eyes of the WHAS 11 Beast coming right up. And the mobile traffic tracker is giving you a real-time look now at the traffic and where it's moving. Well, as you can see, I-65 still slow going at 48 miles per hour. And the Vice President and the Senate Majority Leader both saying the relationship between the U.S. and China depends on one thing.
The First Alert Storm Team forecast on WHAS 11 News is sponsored by Elite Heating and Air Conditioning and Winter Furniture.
Yeah, it is.
Right now at the Kia stores, new 2020 Kia Souls are only $159 per month. And if you have a job bringing home $350 per week, we want to approve your credit. Only at the Kia stores.
Newport Aquarium's Shark Summer and One Kid Free offer have been extended by popular demand. And now we're bringing the beach to you. Discover giant sea life sand sculptures along your trip to the shark capital of the Midwest, where you can touch sharks, crush Shark Bridge just inches above a tank full of sharks, and meet the brand new baby shark. All while one kid gets in free with each full price adult. But hurry, this special offer's only for limited time during Shark Summer and only at NewportAquarium.com.
Join the Circle of Life at the Lion King. Experience the world's #1 musical. Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Returning to Louisville for 3 weeks only this October. Get your tickets today at KentuckyCenter.org.
They held that traffic for exactly 30 minutes.
Ready for new windows?
I looked up
for a
5:15
limited time at
when I
Builder
started moving.
Surplus.
This is exactly what you were caught in.
Anderson Storm Door, fully installed with the purchase of 10 or more Anderson windows. That's a $500 value. We offer top quality Anderson windows in all colors and sizes, ready to order every day. Why pay more when you can save? Not sure what you need? Get an in-home estimate free of charge. Quality windows and installation at the best price. Details and exclusions may apply. For more information, search Google for Builder Surplus Louisville.
Bearings, you know what that means. Back to school days of big savings. Check out the all-new 2020 Kia Telluride at the Kia stores. This brand new 8-passenger SUV has touchscreen display, backup warning, towing capacity, and much more. Only at the Kia stores.
Remember, get the guaranteed lowest price in Louisville.
Or it's free at Furniture Fair.
Continue now for nearly 3 straight months in Hong Kong. Major players in U.S. politics are giving their support for the people on the streets. Today, riot police had a short face-off with protesters. Hundreds of people filled a train station to commemorate a violent attack there by masked attackers on supporters of the movement. And in Detroit this week, Vice President Mike Pence announced that China would not get a trade deal with the U.S. unless it honors its commitments to Hong Kong. Today, Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell says he stands by the demonstrators. In a statement, McConnell says, in part, China's trading partners should make it clear that any crackdown would have real and painful costs. The world is awakening to China's abusive and aggressive practices. China's treatment of the people of Hong Kong will shape how the U.S. approaches other key aspects of our relationship. That's from Mitch McConnell today. Kentucky State Police are holding an open house tomorrow for people who are considering a career in law enforcement. All you have to do is take an hour trip to the KSP Training Academy in Frankfort. There will be firearm training simulations and special team demonstrations. Our team coverage of the president's visit is continuing. Lisa showing us the thermometer here tonight. We'll have more and a check of your forecast coming right up. And Joseph Oberhansley says prosecutors know he's not guilty. It's up to jurors to decide whether to believe him or not.
If your heating and cooling system is old and inefficient, now is the time to give BJ Heating and Cooling a call for your free estimate. BJ Heating and Cooling, your local factory authorized Bryant dealer, whatever it takes, has teamed with Bryant Equipment to offer up to 60 months 0% financing with approved credit. Celebrating over 35 years helping Kentuckiana with all their heating and cooling needs. Make sure your estimate on a new system is from BJ Heating and Cooling. You will not be disappointed.
Call the experts you can trust at BJ Heating and Cooling.
The Swiss Wine Festival is back again from August 22nd through 25th in Bevin, Indiana. Sammy Kershaw, Colin Ray, and Aaron Tippin will perform on Friday night. Enjoy over 100 Indiana wines at the Wine Tasting Pavilion. Grape Stomp, amusement rides, and a variety of craft beers will take over Riverfront Park. Don't miss the wonderful food, Saturday's Grand Festival Parade, and so much more that you wouldn't believe. The Swiss Wine Festival, August 22nd through 25th. Keep calm and wine on.
You a cop?
No.
I'm gonna have to check for a wire.
Well, it's a good thing I wore my second best prop.
Let someone else have all the fun?
Stumptown coming to ABC.
Keno night. You
all right,
ready?
that's fine.
Choose your numbers, choose your wager,
Okay.
add the multiplier for a shot
Good
at
deal.
$1 million. Or
Is this a live
add
picture
the bullseye for an additional prize.
of Air Force One? That was VO from when? This morning? Okay. Are we showing that?
This is gonna be awesome. Let's do this.
Babe, what are you doing?
Gonna demo the bathroom.
Well, I know we have no coverage at the airport right now, so.
Bathfitter custom made our new bath to fit perfectly over the old one, so there's no demo or mess.
Impressive. Wait, so no demo? Sorry, man.
Bathfitter will remodel your bath with no messy demolition in as little as 1 day. Call now or visit bathfitter.com for a free in-home consultation.
So when we come out of the open, is that what we're seeing?
$159 four-wheel brake job. We're talking brakes on all four wheels of any car, truck, or SUV. Fast in and out service. A parts and labor guarantee. All for $159. Plus, if you want to save even more, mark your calendars for midweek because everyone wins on Wednesday and you get 15% off. Nobody beats the Breakaway deal on brakes. Breakaway has 9 locations throughout Louisville, Clarksville, LaGrange, and E-Town.
Hi, Shane Hoffman with Neil Huffman Subaru on the Dixie, and this month during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, you can lease a brand new Subaru Impreza for just $259 a month, and we even have interest rates as low as 0% financing for up to 72 months. That's all going on now. That's Neil Huffman Subaru on the Dixie. Huffman has it.
Here at 5:30, a really great governor. Those were the words used by President Donald Trump to describe Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin today. Hi, everyone. I'm Doug Proffitt. Thanks for sticking with us at 5:30. This scene from earlier today, just as Air Force One landed in Louisville just before 2 o'clock today, and it ended up being a big day for the city as President Donald Trump visited the Derby City to talk to veterans at the American Veterans 75th National Convention. Right now, the president should be getting ready to take off back to Washington. His trip back to the airport went right on time. Lisa Hudson is joining us from the rooftop of WHAS 11, where, Lisa, you got a view a little while ago of President Donald Trump heading down Chestnut over to I-65.
Well, that's right, Doug. President Trump made his trip to the Derby City today. He landed at Muhammad Ali International Airport just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. Greeting the president on Air Force One, we saw Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin. You can see him there on your screen. He's been a strong proponent of the president. And during the speech at the AMVETS Convention, Trump said that during his speech, Governor Bevin, quote, is a man who does a great job. I don't know if he's appreciated. He's been a truly great governor. Trump also highlighting Senate Leader Mitch McConnell and his work on appointing more than 100 federal judges. The highlight of the trip, the president signing a presidential memorandum authorizing the discharge of the federal student loan debt of totally and permanently disabled veterans. While in town, the president also doing some fundraising for Governor Bevin. Bevin, of course, in a very tight, heated race for governor against current Attorney General Andy Beshear. But we continue our team coverage right now with Heather Fontaine. She's live in the Beast right now, checking out the traffic. Of course, JCPS school buses were running a little bit behind today, Heather, because of all the road closures.
Well, it seems like things are pretty back to normal at this point right now. We are traveling very smoothly on 65 South. Go ahead and take a look. We're going about 48 miles an hour right now. Just a bit ago, it was a little bit more backed up. We were traveling between 15 and 25, but since we've passed the University of Louisville's football fields and Cardinal Stadium, we've been able to go a solid 50 miles an hour here. It looks like as we're approaching 264, we are putting our brake lights on. It is getting a little bit slower here, but I imagine that's pretty normal for this time of day, for us to be slowing down a little bit on 65 near 264. So of course we were stuck in that traffic back downtown for a solid 30 minutes, but it wasn't any longer than that. We were at a complete standstill. We weren't moving at all, but again, we've made it on to 65. Right now we're going about 15 miles an hour. But Doug, I want to toss it back to you as things go pretty smoothly here in the Weather Beast.
All right, thank you very much, Heather. And roughly half of President Donald Trump voters would at least partially blame him for a recession. This is all coming from a new Morning Consult poll, Politico poll. Politico, 69% of all voters would at least partially blame Donald Trump for a recession, while 19% said he wouldn't be responsible at all. The poll also shows that just 50% of those who voted for President Trump in 2016 would hold him at least partially responsible for a major economic downturn, while 40% would not. Currently, President Trump has a 48% approval rating on the economy. And just a day before that new poll, President Trump said his administration is looking at some tax cut proposals. Mr. Trump talked about the economy and trade with China during a meeting on Tuesday. Trump says his administration is exploring lower payroll taxes and a cut in the capital gains tax when investors sell off their assets. The comments are coming as fears starting to grow about an economic slowdown. Mr. Trump says the word recession is, quote, inappropriate, calling on the Fed to do its job so the country can see a burst of growth.
Payroll tax is something that we think about, and a lot of people would like to see that, and that very much affects the workers of our country, and we have a lot of workers.
President Trump continued to insist the economy is in great shape, but also continued to harshly criticize the Federal Reserve, saying the Fed needs to do its job and cut rates. It did get very hot across Kentuckiana today, felt like 100 degrees, and so many people were outside waiting, and they were stuck in traffic jams. And Ben is going to update us now on our weather trend.
Hoping all those air conditioners work and all those cars that were stuck in that traffic today across the area. 91 degrees, feeling like 97, a little bit better than the high of 98 we had the last couple of days. Very hot nonetheless. You can see it is mainly dry on Max HD radar. As we zoom in closer here, you can see a tiny shower in Perry County, one also far western Breckenridge County, just a few rumbles of thunder. Severe weather is not expected, and a lot of our area will stay dry through much of this evening. As that front gets closer, though, it's going to kick some disturbances our way, and we'll have a higher chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms during the overnight tonight and through tomorrow as well. So it could be wet in spots tomorrow morning here 6 a.m. into the afternoon. Some more spotty showers and thunderstorms on the way. So a little unsettled as this front moves through over the next 24 to 36 hours. So 80s and mostly dry and warm this evening. Can't rule out an isolated shower or storm. Spotty showers and storms overnight, low of 74. No 90s, a high of 86 with scattered showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. That rain chance at about 70%. It's all good news for the weekend. We'll have that coming up in our Storm Team forecast. Doug?
Thank you, Ben. Well, it's still festival time at a popular Kentuckiana festival, changing its policy with unsupervised teenagers. It comes just days after the chaos over the weekend at the Kentucky State Fair.
The all-new WHAS 11 app. Get it
Very
now in the App
controversial.
Store.
If you're dreaming of a spacious new shower to replace that old tub, you might be thinking that the big box home improvement stores.
Was he the one who got? Was he the one who got thrown out of that one church?
Joe Klimchak here with the owner of West Shore Home, BJ Wurzen. BJ, today we're talking bath remodeling, and I really want to drill down on the difference between working with a big home improvement store and working with the local bath experts at West Shore.
I knew that.
Sure, Joe. So there's many differences, and that's why we have helped more local homeowners remodel their bath than any company out there. And it really all starts with that free in-home design consultation.
Now it's backing up again. You wonder why.
First meeting, that's no obligation to buy, correct?
Absolutely.
Explain how that works.
Sure. So what we do is we're going to come out to the house, and 50% of the stress from a home improvement project is going to be that I'm going to worry about what I pick out is not going to look good. The styles, the colors, it's not all going to come together. So we completely eliminate that risk with our in-home design application.
Can you show us the app?
Sure, take a look. So what you want to do first is pick your base. Do you want a shower base or a tub base? Then you pick the walls, you pick the colors, you pick
Is there a lead into this?
Add in the fixtures and accessories to pull it all together and really get to design the bath.
Okay, where is it? I don't see it. It's not in the script.
Absolutely. Okay, how about the other half of the equation, the installation? BJ, you believe that to be the most important part.
Sure, the second 50% of the worry is going to come that I'm going to live in a construction zone for weeks on end. The project's going to go over time and over
No,
budget,
I mean, I'm trying to get to
You don't
it.
have to worry because 92% of our bath remodels are done in just one day.
One-day installation. Now, BJ, how's that possible?
Sure, so go back to the big box stores. What they're going to do is take that work and subcontract it out to another company. What we do is we use our own employee installers. They're going to follow a process, get those jobs done in just one day, and it also allows us to give a double lifetime warranty.
BJ, thanks so much. Folks, when it comes to bath remodeling, West Shore Home, easier, risk-free, plus faster, and stress-free too. Call them today. Take advantage of Labor Day savings. Get this. They're doing free installation on all bath projects. Plus, if you call right now, it's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 full year. Call West Shore Home today.
Will this be the best season of Dancing with the Stars ever? We're with a stellar new cast.
I can move to a rhythm.
Next, TT.
Tonight at 7 on WHAS 11.
So much effort went into security to get ready for President Donald Trump's visit to Louisville. In fact, the River Road and Main Street shut down at 7 a.m. today. Rob Harris was curious about what they did ahead of time to keep things safe.
You probably know that the Secret Service works to keep our president safe, but here's something you may not know. At the same time the Secret Service is working to protect our leaders, they're also fulfilling their original mission, the reason they were created all the way back in 1865, tackling down counterfeit money. No, it's true. The Secret Service was created back then as a branch of the U.S. Treasury Department to combat fake money, which was a huge problem at the time. In fact, after the Civil War, it's estimated that up to half of all money in circulation was fake. For almost 40 years, the Secret Service's sole job was just to keep our financial system safe and clean. But then in 1901, something happens. President William McKinley is shot and killed in Buffalo, New York. He was the third American president to be assassinated, and it's this event that will forever change the Secret Service. That's why they're tasked with their second mission, to protect the commander-in-chief. Today, they guard many of our nation's leaders, and they still, yes, investigate financial crimes. To get all this done takes around 3,200 special agents, 1,300 uniformed division officers, and more than 2,000 other people on staff. Now, yes, Secret Service members do pledge to sacrifice their lives to save the president, but luckily this is very rare. The Secret Service only lists 3 times on its website that an officer has been shot defending the president during an assassination attempt, and only one of those officers died. That was Officer Leslie Kofeld. He was protecting President Harry Truman back in 1950. Back to you.
President Donald Trump leaving Louisville at this hour. Earlier, he's speaking to the veterans. Then the fundraising for Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin. You've been calling the rant line throughout the afternoon. Our number is 855-749-1101. Your opinions on the rant coming up next.
And it's still a hot one out there, 91 degrees. Here are the weather headlines and what's next in our storm team forecast. Can't rule out an isolated shower or storm this evening, but a lot of the area will stay dry. But scattered showers and thunderstorms expected late tonight and tomorrow as a front moves in. It'll move out in time for a great weekend. We'll have that good news coming up next. Your Kentucky Lottery jackpots, Mega Millions at 90 million, Powerball 40 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education.
Right now at the Kia stores, new 2019 Kia Optimas are only $19,998. And if you have a job bringing home $350 per week, we want to approve your credit. Only at the Kia stores.
After an injury, it's almost always the other side's insurance company, not the individual that we go up against. That's why size matters. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, Louisville. Need a new ride but have bad credit? Get approved with the King of Credit, American Car Center.
Choose from thousands of low-mileage, late-model, pre-owned vehicles with a limited warranty and up to 3 years of oil changes to keep you running like new. And with just $500 today,
you can drive it away. We don't care about your credit.
We care about your ride at over 50 locations across the Southeast.
Visit us online at AmericanCarCenter.com because the King of Credit wants to approve you today.
Americans are sick and tired. Sick of skyrocketing prescription drug prices. Tired of drug companies charging us twice as much for medicines as people in other countries. But now there's a bipartisan bill in the Senate that will stop drug company price gouging. President Trump supports it. America's
What are we doing with the packages that we didn't have? You all know?
Can make it happen. Americans are getting ripped off. Tell Senator McConnell to pass the Grassley-Wyden plan. Lower drug prices now.
Okay.
Okay. Right now at the Kia stores, take home a new 2019
So,
Kia Sorento for only $23,998.
Is weather joining me, or am I joining weather after the rant? What's going on?
Only at the Kia stores.
Serving the educational community since 1954.
Class
Okay.
Act has helped me reach my goals because they
I
have
wish
better
we knew
interest
if
rates, which
Air
makes
Force
it feel
One
like
had
I'm getting a
left.
better return on my money. I still remember.
Y'all see
Class
anything on
Act
Twitter or
because
anything?
I feel safe. I feel like my
We don't have a
money
camera
is safe
shot
here.
over there?
I've had instances.
No, we
where
don't. We're not.
there
We
have
didn't
been
cover the
purchases
departure.
that were out of my control, and
It was
Class Act made a
restricted.
point to let me know immediately what was going on with them. Class Act Federal Credit Union actually cares about its members.
I wonder if Kentucky Air National Guard or anybody
The
would have
First
anything.
Alert Storm Team forecast on WHAS 11 News is sponsored by Elite Heating and Air Conditioning and Winter Furniture.
And tonight here on The Rant, you are talking about President Donald Trump's visit to Louisville today. Also, tonight's going to be a big night at the Kentucky State Fair. Tonight is the first night of enforcement by the fair since the chaos Saturday night had people running to the exits. And you are talking about that on The Rant. But first, Mr. Trump talking to the American veterans and raising money for Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin. It's on The Rant line.
Bob from LaGrange. Trump's speeches, why do Trump's speeches to active duty and veterans always get politically negative? He's unaware that those who serve in the military serve their country and not a political party or a president. He has ridiculed war heroes. He is a 5-time draft dodger.
Fairgrounds the other night. I was at the fairgrounds with my granddaughter on the Midway the other night when all the commotion hit, the supposed shooting, whatever. And I just want to give a great shout out to the South African amusement crew that's running the rides there. They were so organized and got those children off those rides and in protective areas so fast, I couldn't even hardly blink.
Now, more on President Donald Trump's visit. Frank in downtown Louisville. I've been waiting all morning long to see Air Force One. I'm in Louisville waiting for him to fly over. So excited. Phyllis in Middletown, think of all the revenue and tax dollars that will be missed today in Louisville. All businesses in the area, parking garages, taxis, meters, restaurants, shops, everything. Maddie in Shelbyville, just seeing him in Richmond pass and wave to all of his supporters is a memory I'll never forget. Such a great president. Can't wait to have him in office for another 4 years. Robert in Crestwood, it's great that he's talking to veterans, but they really need help with the sorry shape of the VA, and so far Trump, like on many things, has been long on talk and short on action. Switching topics to local politics, Leslie in Okolona. I take my grandchildren to the South Central Library near the Jefferson Mall once a week. My 5-year-old grandson loves to go and wants a library card. The library would not let him have a library card. They say his parents need to bring him in and they need to be responsible. Well, you're right, Leslie. We should be making it so easy for any child in this community to read, no matter the age. Here's how you can rant on any topic tonight. You can call me, write me on Facebook. You can use Twitter at WHAS11Doug. Keep your emails coming to the rant at WHAS11.com if you want to talk about what President Trump said in Louisville. And the toll-free rant line is now open at 855-749 11:01. Well, we've been in such a dry spell around Kentuckiana. We really need a little more rain than we got last night, even though some places got 4 inches of rain. How about it, Ben? It's going to be a little later tonight?
Yeah, late tonight during the overnight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a few rounds of some showers and thunderstorms on the way. So good news, more beneficial rain and just a few claps of thunder every once in a while. Severe weather threat is very low. Good news, we're starting to see traffic flowing a lot better on I-65 here through downtown now that the motorcade is gone. We've had issues on I-65 here. Look at mobile traffic tracker, but also the Snyder here through Okolona, Fern Creek. Earlier semi-fire had all the lanes blocked on the Snyder westbound, 265 westbound there. So still a very big backup all the way towards Taylorsville Road. Here's our Kentucky State Fair forecast. 86 tomorrow. As you can see, no more 90s here for the rest of the week. A 70% chance of some on and off showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, as we'll have that front right over the top of our area. It starts to move to the south, so the best chance on Friday of the rain will be south of Louisville. High temperature at 84 degrees, and the weekend looks just about perfect. Low 80s, low humidity Saturday, and looking great on Sunday as well with more of those 80s. Still a hot one, 91, feels like 97 right now, and that dew point at 70, that's that measure of water in the air. So as we look at our mosquito squad muggy meter with that dew point at 70, still oppressive and tropical, but by this weekend we'll see the dew points going down to the 50s, so feeling great, comfortable levels as we go to Saturday and Sunday. Our temperatures ranging from around 85 to 90 in most locations, and most of our map is dry here on Max HD radar. As we zoom to the southwest, you can see a thunderstorm getting its act together just out to the west of Breckenridge County. So these have been popping up and then kind of fizzling out after about a half hour. But that one's been holding together heading towards Fordsville. If it continues to hold together, western Grayson County might get clipped with some heavy rain there, not too far from Nolin and Rough River. There is a look at that front off to the northwest where more of that active weather is, and that's going to be dropping into our area throughout the daytime tomorrow. So Futurecast shows mostly quiet conditions for this evening through about 10 or 11. After midnight, we're starting to see a better chance of some of these scattered showers and thunderstorms. And so tomorrow morning out the door, you might be running into some locally heavy downpours. And tomorrow afternoon, some hit or miss showers and thunderstorms as well, and more rain chances into tomorrow night right there. But notice we start to see that rain chance moving farther south through the day on Friday. This is at 3:30 p.m. So it looks like more of us will be dry on Friday than not. And it looks, again, great this weekend. 74 our low temperature for tonight. Outlying areas in the upper 60s and lower 70s with some scattered showers and thunderstorms off and on. You might be woken up by a few claps of thunder overnight. Showers and storms the forecast for tomorrow with temperatures in the 80s and no 90s for the first time in a long time in this 7-day forecast. 84 on Friday. Saturday, phenomenal. 83 in low humidity, 85 on Sunday, and mid to upper 80s as we go into next week. A little unsettled next week, too, with a few showers and thunderstorms on the way. And just for you, Doug, the very long-range weather model data, the European, the GFS weather model, day 10, 11, 12, towards the end of August, showing some 70s.
70s?
So there might be a cool down in the long range.
Well, I've been fascinated by this since the beginning of the year. Are we now over 50 days of 90 degrees or more?
Yeah, we've had well into the 50s, the amount of days at 90 or above, about double the normal amount.
All right. Thank you very much, Ben. Well, there has been other news here locally today. We want to keep you up to date on that. It's the case that has stunned people in southern Indiana. Returning to Jeffersonville, Joseph Oberhansley accused of murdering his girlfriend. And we have the latest from tonight's Gabrigadis, who's covering the trial.
The 15 jurors were warned that this is going to be a long trial with graphic images and horrific details.
2 black male suspects broke in the house and killed Tammy.
Joseph Oberhansley walked inside the courtroom today, clean cuts and dress clothes. In his own words, you heard him there say, quotes, "The prosecutors know I'm not guilty. That's why the death penalty was dropped," end quotes. He also kept stating 2 other men killed Tammy Jo Blanton. During opening statements, Oberhansley interrupted the prosecutor multiple times, saying statements such as, quotes, "You're lying lying or I didn't do it. The prosecutor told the jury the evidence in this case will show Oberhansley intentionally raped and brutally murdered Tammy, ruling out insanity. A past agreement dropped the death penalty under one circumstance. The accused cannibal cannot plead insanity. He has 3 defense attorneys. During their opening statements, they told the jurors to look at the evidence from all sides.
We believe his decision making was a result of his mental illness, and we believe that makes this process unfair. You know, when a crazy person is deciding what his defense is, that's a problem.
It's been something that's just weighed on me every single day as the Clark County prosecutor, the fact that this case was pending, it was untried, and that this family hadn't received justice yet. So today is the day that we start down that road to getting them justice, and I am very excited that we're here today.
Again, 15 jurors are responsible for reaching a verdict in this case. 8 of them are females and 7 are males. They were sworn in this morning and bused to Clark County from Hamilton County. They are sequestered and were told to pack and prepare for 3 weeks. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 8 for day 2 of this trial. In Clark County, Sanites Gabrigadis, WHAS 11 News.
The West Point, Kentucky Independent School District could be facing a state takeover. It comes after there were several audit issues discovered by the Kentucky State Commissioner calling for direct intervention. The findings show a lack of leadership and poor communication, along with issues with the school district's bookkeeping. New principal Carla Breeding says many of the issues sprung up from a lack of leadership, something she says is changing under her watch.
Anything that is not compliant or any area where we need to make improvements, we want to make those improvements because ultimately everyone here wants to do the very best thing for our students. By not having a principal for part of the year last year led to some issues in communication, but those things are in place now.
Breeding says their focus is on learning when it comes to the children. Around 140 students attend from preschool to 8th grade at West Point. There are concerns about the Amazon rainforest burning at a record rate now. According to Brazil's Space Research Center, there have been more than 72,000 wildfires in that area this year. That's 83% more than the same amount of time in 2018 and the highest since records started in 2013. So what's also causing the concern? Brazil's current president is known to be skeptical of climate change, and he vows to develop the Amazon forest region for farming and mining, ignoring concerns over increased deforestation. A new emergency order issued for Area 51. That's the spot near Las Vegas, famous for its extraterrestrial conspiracy theories. Millions of people say they're going to visit the spot 80 miles from Las Vegas after a post went viral on Facebook. And the police, FBI, and other government officials are taking it very seriously. The Air Force, which has also denied any alien visitors or ships, even issued a stern warning. Any attempt to illegally access military installations or military training areas is dangerous. The military promises to defend America and its assets.
It's insane. I just created a joke while I was playing video games, man, and it's taken off to this like absolutely wild monster. The FBI agents that showed up, they showed up at 10 a.m. because I was kind of scared at this point, but they were super cool. They really just wanted to make sure I wasn't like some kind of actual terrorist that's making pipe bombs.
The Air Force, which has always denied any alien visitors or ships, even issued a warning saying stay away from those military bases. Dangerous. The military is promising to defend America and its assets. But as far as alleged UFOs themselves, the government is branching out after stories from fighter pilots and others. And the Washington Post reports that the Defense Department is spending $22 million on a government program looking into the possibilities of other life out there. In movie news, the world will be heading back into the Matrix universe. The franchise's 4th movie is officially set with Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss starring in the roles. Some of the script is already written. Warner Brothers is set to produce the film. Sources say it'll begin production at the beginning of 2020. The first Matrix just turned 20 this year. A presidential visit here in Louisville, from his speech to the veterans to the protesters who greeted him. You'll hear from them all with our live team coverage. It moves ahead in just a few minutes at the top of the hour at 6. And the mobile traffic tracker giving you the real-time traffic at the moment. I-65 still having some trouble spots there where they're moving 34 miles per hour. These are the drive times from downtown to I-265, the Gene Snyder Freeway.
Blazers, Silverado, Equinox, and more. Hi, I'm Teresa Bachman.
Open the door to a
See you
new
later.
Chevy from Bachman Chevrolet, your #1 Chevy dealer for over 10 years. Come see for yourself why people in Kentuckiana are switching to Chevy. Choose from Bachman's incredible all-star selection, save thousands with Bachman's all-star deals, or come in for our all-star service. Welcome to Bachman Chevrolet's All-Star Open House. Bachman makes the difference.
Do you suffer from knee pain? With new medical breakthroughs, you can get relief from your knee pain without risky surgery. Arthritis and Knee Pain Center of Louisville is now accepting new patients for their FDA-approved non-surgical treatment. This new treatment has already helped thousands of people just like you return to an active lifestyle. Most major insurances are accepted, including Medicare. Space is limited. Call 877-850-8506. That's 877-850-8506 to schedule your free screening.
The Swiss Wine Festival is back again from August 22nd through 25th in Bevin, Indiana. Sammy Kershaw, Colin Ray, and Aaron Tippin will perform on Friday night. Enjoy over 100 Indiana wines at the Wine Tasting Pavilion. Grape Stomp, amusement ride, and a variety of craft beers will take over their Riverfront Park. Don't miss the wonderful food, Saturday's Grand Festival Parade, and so much more that you wouldn't believe. The Swiss Wine Festival, August 22nd through 25th. Keep calm and wine on.
Summer can be full of joy and surprises.
Everyone happy?
Yes! Do something!
But WeatherTech's got you covered with laser-measured floor liners, seat protectors, cargo liners, and a full line of automotive accessories. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com, the ultimate protection for your vehicle.
Kentucky Blood Center invites you to enjoy the ride during our summer giveaway. Donate blood June through August, and you could win a 2019 Toyota Tacoma 4x4. For more information and donation locations, visit kybloodcenter.org. Be a summer lifesaver.
The dirty side of a tropical storm or hurricane has the strongest winds and heaviest rain. It's on the right side to motion. Say it's moving forward at about 10 miles per hour. Add that to its rotational wind speed, say 70 miles per hour, and we get a wind speed total of 80 miles per hour on that dirty side. There's also more lift on that side, so you get heavier rain there and more tornadoes. Keeping you weather smart, WHS 11 is on your side.
Next, DT, will this be the best season of Dancing with the Stars ever? We're with the stellar new cast.
I can, move to a rhythm.
Then it's the summer of Simon Cowell.
I'm happy right now.
20 pounds lighter and ready to conquer the fitness world, what Simon told us. Plus, we're with Jada Pinkett Smith taking Red Table Talk to new heights.
This all kinds of stuff.
Next, DT.
Tonight at 7 on WHAS 11.
What's your secret to a long life?
Just keep your mouth shut to help everybody.
Loves to work, he said. Well, that's Benny Facito. He's a World War II veteran from Edison, New Jersey. He got a nice surprise from his coworkers, a birthday party. You heard right, his coworkers. That's because he is still working part-time at the age of 96. He works 4-hour shifts twice a week, and he helps bag groceries, and he refuses to take that 15-minute break. What a work ethic. Way to go, Benny. Well, that brings us up to the top of the hour, and full coverage of today's presidential visit. WHAS 11 News at 6 begins right now.
Truly thrilled to be here with thousands of America's proudest and toughest and most extraordinary patriots.
Right now at 6, President Donald Trump greeting the 75th convention of the American Veterans at the Galt House. A speech focusing on health care, suicide rates, and getting rid of student loans after battle. While protesters hold signs and chant outside. It's a 2-for-1 visit by the 45th president, also raising money for Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin.
I don't know if he's appreciated. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
The president moving to the Sealback Hotel for a private fundraiser for the governor. It's been a day of amazing views of Air Force One flying over the city, rolling traffic jams across Louisville. As the president's motorcade roars up and down I-65, WHAS 11 News is following President Donald Trump in the River City. And at 6 o'clock, his visit is now over after a nearly 4-hour-long trip to Louisville. President Donald Trump is on his way back to Washington at the moment. Air Force One taking off from Louisville's airport just after 5:30 tonight. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us for our team coverage here at 6. The president's visit consisted of a speech at the American Veterans National Convention and then a fundraiser for Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin's campaign. We have live team coverage of this trip, including the protesters who also showed up. Lisa Hudson's kicking off our coverage here in downtown Louisville.
Well, Doug, President Donald Trump arrived here in Louisville at just 2 o'clock this afternoon, just a few minutes before Air Force One flying over downtown and the WHAS 11 studios. Governor Matt Bevin actually greeted the president at the airport before the motorcade brought him down to I-65 to downtown and the Galt House. You see him there coming off of Air Force One with Governor Matt Bevin. Political editor Chris Williams was there as he addressed the AMVETS National Convention. Chris, what did he have to say?
Lisa, President Trump boasted of being the first U.S. president to address this veterans organization in its 75-year history. And he made history with an executive action that he says will impact 25,000 wounded warriors. His signature means that 100% disabled veterans will see their student loan debt forgiven. One veteran here told me that means a lot to those trying to heal from the wounds of war. It's relief for families and veterans trying to better themselves after giving so much.
The debt of these disabled veterans will be entirely erased. It'll be gone. Altogether, this action will wipe out an average of $30,000 in debt owed by more than 25,000 eligible veterans.
Your left. The Secretary of Education was in Louisville for the signing, and Governor Matt Bevin joined the president on the stage for that as well. The AMVETS gave the decision a standing ovation. The president also addressed efforts to reform the VA and prevent veteran suicides. We'll have more about that part of the story tonight at 11 o'clock, but now let's turn to my colleague Tyler Emery, who has more on those protests that followed the president today.
Chris, the last small group of protesters just left in front of the seal back here in the last 30 minutes or so, but things were tense between both protesters and supporters of President Trump right up until the very end when the president left here from the downtown area not too long ago. Things are much calmer, much quieter now, but earlier today things looked very different. I followed along these protesters and supporters throughout the different locations that they went to. A crowd of at least 50 people filled with both those opposing President Trump and those supporting him. Lots of chanting and shouting back and forth between the groups. Officers had to escort at least one protester away earlier in front of the Galt House. Now, I said I followed along as that crowd then moved to 3rd and Main Streets, where protesters shouted at the president's motorcade and supporters looked for their chance to take pictures and see President Trump. Now, talking with that crowd downtown today, everyone had their different reasons for why they felt it was important to come out today.
A lot of us are discontent with, the president, our governor, our senators, and so this is our opportunity to speak with them.
Kind of taking it all in. It's a first-time experience and maybe a one and only experience, in my lifetime, because how often does the president come around,
As you can see, 4th Street here in front of the Sealbach is now back open, and like I said, things are much calmer and much quieter, Lisa, now that protesters and supporters have all left the downtown area.
Good to see that there weren't any major issues down there, Tyler. Thank you so much. Now, this was a two-part visit for President Trump. Now, after he spoke to the AMVETS National Convention there at the Galt House, the president actually traveled to the Sealbach Hotel there on 4th Street for a roundtable discussion with several veterans, also a fundraiser for Governor Matt Bevin. President Trump saying he supports Governor Matt Bevin. He will be campaigning for him, as well as Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell. Kristen Goodwillie, she joins us live from outside the Sealbach, where the president left just after 5 o'clock today. Kristen, you guys were set up right there when the motorcade took that left turn onto Chestnut. What all did you see?
Lisa, that is exactly right. We weren't able to get down the alley, but right now we are at the back of the Sealbach, where President Trump came out through this exit into the tent. He was loaded onto the motorcade, and then they took off down this alley, taking a left on Chestnut Street. Now, between 4th and 5th Street on Chestnut was completely blocked off. A lot of police, Secret Service, Kentucky State Police, everybody was out there, full security. And a lot of people weren't allowed in and out through that street, other than business owners and people who worked in the area. So there were definitely people with their phones out trying to record a glimpse of the president. I did see the president. He was in one of the limousines and gave a wave and a thumbs up, and then he was off to the airport. And so right now, an hour later,